It is 10:01. Good morning from the Circus Sports at the Mint, Kentucky Downs, 104.5 The Zone studio. I'm Lucas Panzico. We are 2 days away from the NFL draft kicking off in Pittsburgh. Tom Pelissero of NFL Network reported on Tuesday that Tennessee cornerback and first-round prospect Jermod McCoy could need another surgery to repair a cartilage defect. McCoy is coming off an ACL tear that held him out for the entirety of the 2025 season. In NFL news, defensive tackle Nnamdi Madubuike hopes to return in 2027. The Ravens D-tackle, two-time Pro Bowler, underwent neck surgery just last week, and news today that he expects to be back this season at the age of 28. For all your foundation repairs and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Good morning. Welcome into 104.5 The Zone. We're happy to have you for the next 3 hours, Robert, Lucas, and me, until 1 o'clock. We've got draft headlines to get to, as you heard Lucas mention in his breaking sports news update. We've got some Jermod McCoy concerns that have reemerged in the last 24 hours, and dream draft scenarios. We'll get you guys involved later in the show. Robert, we also have an excellent prize for Oh No today. What do we have for people if they call in at 10:45, 615-737-1045 and give us the thing in sports that made them say, oh no? What do we have?
We got more tickets to see Chris Brown and Usher at Nissan Stadium.
And you told me this morning you wouldn't let Cheyenne go to that concert.
No way in hell would I let that woman anywhere near that stadium. Not while they're there.
You mean that pelvis is what you mean.
Not
that
really the pelvis. It's what, if you guys are unfamiliar, every Usher concert, I've been seeing clips of this for like the last year and a half. Usher will go to the crowd with two cherries, and he will dangle them above an unsuspecting woman and then ask her to consume them in whatever creative way she would like to. Most of these women choose to be disgusting and vile and crude in the way that they eat these cherries, and I don't want Cheyenne to succumb to that. I don't want her the pressure to get to her, because I've seen what she can do with some cherries, and I do not want her to be privy to any kind of conversation around that. Keep away from my God-fearing woman.
Have either of the two of you tried the trick with the cherry stems?
Yeah, I cheat.
Do you? How do you cheat?
Before you go up to someone and say, hey, I bet I can tie a knot in this cherry stem, you already have one tied in a knot in your mouth. Mm-hmm. So you put the
like behind your teeth here?
Yeah, I put it like underneath my tongue.
Slick.
But then you put it in and it's like, ooh, look at there. You want to try that out, girl? Trying to get a little time, trying to go something like that. I'm trying to see what that might be like.
It's a little too early for that kind of conversation. Mike Tomlin's going to television is the news of today. He's joining NBC's Sunday night NFL pregame. Andrew Marchand at The Athletic had the report this morning, and it has been an inevitability. We understood that Mike Tomlin was going to have all manner of options as far as what he wanted to do in broadcast. Once he decided, and once the Pittsburgh Steelers decided mutually that he was going to step down from his position after a very long tenure, I would have told you that Mike Tomlin was closer to 60. He's only 54.
He looks great. Apparently, according to the reporting, Fox showed interest, but NBC had the biggest need as they did dismiss Tony Dungy after 17 seasons. I didn't realize Tony Dungy was on television for 17 years. If you asked me, I blindly would say he was coaching 17 years ago, but time flies. There's not a coach, an active coach. Let's just take the crop of NFL head coaches from last season. Mm-hmm. There's not an active coach from last season I would rather see on television more than Mike Tomlin, I don't think.
Really? I think McVay would be excellent.
McVay would be excellent.
I think Sean, because Amazon was ready to offer him, was it Amazon or Apple TV? Somebody was going to give him a fat-ass raise.
That's pretty people privilege, though. He would be
pretty people. People
say
privilege.
that 5 times fast.
Pretty people privilege. Pretty people privilege.
Pretty people privilege. Peter picked a pickled peppers. It's pretty people privilege. The only reason he's be on the board is because he looks so good doing it. Like, we're just so enamored. Oh, he can remember this play from this drive.
Yes,
in
I
this
think
game.
that's excellent.
Oh, all that. Lucas can do that with the World Cup. It's not that impressive.
Okay, but it's not the NFL.
It doesn't matter. He's just pretty. He's just pretty. He's got insiders fighting over him, fawning over him in Burger King parking lots. I'm okay.
That was in Washington before anybody knew who he was.
I'm okay with Sean McVay being pretty by himself. Give me Mike Tomlin, who is pretty in a different way.
Well, you don't want Mike Tomlin. You want Mike Tomlin on TV because you don't want Mike Tomlin coaching against your football team.
No. I would be perfectly fine with Mike Tomlin coming back to the NFL as long as he wanted to go to an NFC team. I have no problem with that whatsoever. Mike Tomlin, you go to the West Coast, the best coast for you. No one's going to be upset if you impregnate a white staffer there. Go ahead and go over there and do that.
So Maria Taylor, that NBC pregame and halftime and postgame show is now Maria Taylor, ex-Cowboys coach who, interestingly enough, interviewed for the Titans head coaching job, Jason Garrett, and Devin McCourty, Titans legend, who's getting a bunch of good television opportunities here in the last couple of years. So apparently NBC still has to re-sign McCourty to a new contract to put all their ducks in a row on that. They are saying that he is expected to return. They've also obviously got Matthew Berry doing the fantasy football segments. What's the guy that was on CNBC that does the map, the election map, but now he's doing it for football?
Yeah, I can't remember his name, but
Steve Kornacki, is that right?
Always good come playoff time.
Yes.
Do we think Mike Tomlin ever does coach again?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Slam dunk?
He's 54.
He's older than Bill Cowher was when he stepped into the studio, and Cowher has remained there ever since.
Sure, but think about the difference in the money that these guys are making now versus when was Cowher's last year on the sideline?
All right, what's the difference in TV money?
TV
money Mike Tomlin's probably making more money than he was with the Steelers last year.
I guarantee it. I mean, Brady got a significant raise to go on television.
Also, less scrutiny. Right.
Sure.
Yeah, man,
probably a lot easier lift.
Tell that to Jason Witten.
Well,
if you're bad, man, they will sniff you out so fast. Pulled a rabbit out of his head or whatever the line was. Just a completely throwaway thing that
rabbit out of his head.
Anybody would make that mistake, and they killed Jason Garrett for it. Jason Witten, and he lost all his hair, and then he went to the Raiders for 1 year in a very, very sad end to a Hall of Fame career.
Well, Mike Tomlin is going to crush on TV. I can't wait to hear.
I tend to think so.
His quips, his Tomlinisms that he sneaks in. Sean McVay, to your point, would be a good analyst, but he would not come close to being the entertainer that Mike Tomlin could be, in my opinion.
Do you think
with
Mike
the
Tomlin,
football knowledge to boot?
Do you think Mike Tomlin thinks of himself as an entertainer? Because I think Mike Tomlin does not. Mike Tomlin is not there to try and make you laugh at the fact that he's talking about cutting off your eyelids so you can't blink in a game, which is the most ridiculous bleep I've ever heard in my life.
Ramon could speak to this, obviously, better than any of us ever could. But I feel like he's the type of guy that is who he is, and also he knows what he's doing. And he knows how much people like it and how much he gets talked about when he says those things.
He is going to be what Nick Saban was to college football, like on the desk.
Oh, wow, that's a high bar.
Mike Tomlin will be that for the NFL.
But I think the Saban thing is engaging, and more engaging than I think it otherwise would be in a vacuum, because McAfee makes him relatable. Like, because Pat McAfee is not intimidated or, in awe of legendary greatest college coach of all time, Nick Saban. Like, he does a lot of playful stuff with Nick Saban that your average TV pundit is not going to be doing, that brings out a much more likable side of somebody who SEC fans have hated their entire existence.
Yeah, I agree with that, but I think Tomlin doesn't need someone to do that for him to turn it on. Like, he just has that innately within him. I don't think he needs a Pat McAfee to really reach down and find that entertainer within him. I think he just has it. He's just got it. Nick Saban's a curmudgeon. He needs oatmeal pie and Miss, what's his wife's name, Lucas?
Terry.
Miss Terry. He needs Miss Terry to go ahead and fluff him up before those things. Mike Tomlin doesn't need no fluffer.
It's going to be good.
Just gonna throw that in there.
Draft week, baby.
Okay, very good. 615-737-1045 is the number. If you want to get involved, we are also live streamed today on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and on Twitch if you would like to watch the show. and hang out here with us. People are now in the comments saying, McAfee sucks, McAfee ruined wrestling, blah, 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 blah. I mean, listen, Pat McAfee, whatever you think of him, is an incredibly successful businessman, first and foremost. And so I am in awe of the businessman that is Pat McAfee, even if the Pat McAfee persona is not necessarily, it's not designed to appeal to somebody like me, right? It's designed to work, really, really well to bring a little bit of WWE to College game day and get the crowd into it. Even though the crowd is always into it at game day, I think McAfee's done a really nice job taking that to the next level. We have a lot of other news items to get. It was a very newsy day after we walked out of the studio yesterday as far as smokescreen season going on in the NFL draft. So we can get to a whole nother headline segment. You have enough for a whole nother headline segment, do you?
A lot going on.
Next.
Oh, the smoke may have settled, but players are returning from injury. Rumors are still flying. Potential retirees, all that and more for NFL Headlines with Lucas Panzica.
Smoke might be clearing.
It's such an ear violation when you do that to people. It's like Stitch. You are literally Stitch.
It is. It's a human Stitch.
Don't say that.
Lilo Wine.
What's wrong with that?
I'd rather be like Animal from the Muppets.
No, Stitch is awesome. Everybody loves Stitch.
Which one's Animal?
Animal's the drummer in Electric Mayhem.
Yeah.
Talk like this.
Yeah,
Animal.
Stitch is so much cooler
Stitch,
than that.
yeah.
Oh,
You wanna be
stop
Stitch.
it. You guys stop it.
Maybe you physically resemble Animal more, though, his physique is a little tighter.
Are you guys familiar with the band members from Electric Mayhem?
No.
That's the band in the Muppets.
Dr. Teeth, best lead man in rock.
Why do you know this?
I love the Muppets.
Okay. It's a weird thing to say at 32 years old. Anyway,
No, don't say that either.
nowhere near a school.
Well, the smoke screens are out there. The lies are flying. And a lot of people have been pointing this out. But it is funny how the Cardinals' love for Jeremiah Love, I saw Mike Herndon tweet this. He said it feels very coordinated. The fact that every NFL insider had the same information out of nowhere at the very same time. Hey, Cardinals love Jeremiah Love.
Well, yeah, there's only so many people that you can talk to. If you're talking to the Cardinals are probably, unless they're trying to sniff out a rat, like Game of Thrones style, where what's spoiler alert? I mean, it's been a decade since Game of Thrones has been out at this point, so no more spoilers. But when Tyrion leaks all those different plans that he's got for Princess Marcella, to the three different, what do they call them, spiders, right, to see who rats him out to his sister. That's basically what the Cardinals could have done, that NFL teams might do from time to time to figure out if they've got a leak within their organization, but everybody was on the same page yesterday.
Well, yeah, I think this was a very purposeful leak. Like, how bad do the Arizona Cardinals want to trade back from the number 3 overall pick?
Well, not really bad because we like Love, but we'd like to move back if it's available. But if we can't, it's okay. We'll still stick here and pick. Just so if you guys were wondering, we definitely don't want to move back. But if the opportunity provided itself, we'd love to.
No.
Did you want to trade up?
No, we want to stay.
Sure.
But you want to come up. Well, we want to stay though.
Yeah, but everyone is talking about how much they'd love to come up to 3. So I mean, we're hearing people out. We'd really like to stick and pick. But if someone wants to make us an offer,
should Monty just come out and say, yeah, open for just who wants to come up?
We're going to take the player you like if you don't trade for this pick. Whatever player you
Right.
like, we're going to take them. I promise.
I mean, it's not like, who are you gaslighting into that? Because Dallas doesn't need him, right? If you're going to use Love as the bait there, are you trying to? Surely you're not going to bait Kansas City into moving up from 9 to 3. Like, who are you messaging to with Love specifically?
Whoever's listening.
No, okay.
Love finds a way.
It always does.
Thank you. That's completely useless analysis.
Well, there are actual headlines happening, football things. Minicamp gets underway today for teams with first-year head coaches. The Titans are one of those teams. So what all are they doing this week specifically? I know media will not be there, but what is happening this week as Robert Saleh officially gets his program underway with the guys that are in the building?
I mean, it's essentially installation overview, right? You only have a certain amount of time with these guys that you can actually get them on the practice field. So it's mostly about conditioning, meetings, setting the table for the program that will follow. It's an extra 2 weeks of what is essentially phase 1 if you follow along with these things in the NFL offseason program. So they have technically been in the building since the 9th doing this stuff. This is just their first mini camp, and teams are allowed, as you mentioned, they are one of 10 teams who have a new head coach, Baltimore included in this, so you can basically squeeze an extra mini camp in before the draft if you've hired a new head coach this year.
Well, speaking of Baltimore, good news for Robert Walsh and the Ravens as defensive tackle Nnamdi Madubuike underwent neck surgery last week, and it has doctors believing that he will be able to resume playing this season, which would be a huge boost for a Ravens defense that struggled to get to the quarterback after he went down last year. He's only 28 years old, 2-time Pro Bowler. But, Robert, is there any sort of timetable on when he would be able to actually come back at 100%?
That hasn't been released yet. They've been super cagey about this since his injury happened in week 2 of last year. And after that, mum has been the word around the John Harbaugh administration with the Ravens. He has never been forthright with information around injuries, but the phrase he would use is, "That's not my information to share," which sounds like, oh, he's going to have to retire due to this injury. So I think a lot of Ravens fans had been operating under the thought that he would not be able to return to form. But he's been putting out some crazy workouts, like videos just on Twitter. And I've talked to a lot of people that train athletes around this, and you don't do those exercises if you are not planning to come back.
Did you just cite sources?
Maybe.
Let him cook.
Look at you.
Maybe. I mean, I came to you guys last year after going to a Ravens game around certain people, and I told you guys in week 3 he's not coming back.
You broke the news to us before anybody else knew.
It's like, hey, I talked to a guy who talked to a guy who talked to a guy who talked to his agent. That's how my sources work, by the way.
Just imagine you being just blacked out.
She'll tell me, hey, shh, come here. Hey, come here. It's okay, come here.
You grab him by the back of the neck. Did you see this Michael Jordan thing in the NASCAR race where he grabs the driver around the front of the neck and kisses him on the head? That's what I imagine Robert is doing, just blackout drunk at a Ravens tailgate to somebody who he probably should not make physical contact
Robert, getting, all right, Big J Burt.
Sources say.
And your cheek is sweaty. Come here, tell me something about Matty BK.
Big Boss Burt is out. Big J Burt is in.
Big J Burt.
Huge deal, because that kind of pass rusher from the defensive tackle position is not available in free agency this year, and it is not available in the draft this year. I think since 2020, no defensive tackle has as many quarterback hits as Matty BK does. I think that's the stat I saw this morning. So, I mean, that's a huge boom for their pass rush, especially after the addition of Trey Hendrickson. Another need, another want crossed off the list.
Well,
somebody said in the comments on the F&M Bag chat, just joined the show and instantly heard Robert whispering into my ear.
Hey, what are you doing?
That's Big J Burt.
Hey, just skip out of work. Go to Hattie B's. I'll get you something spicy.
Speaking of Big J, I watched an all-time Big J movie over the weekend. Have you guys seen All the President's Men?
Yes.
No. Like the Humpty Dumpty thing?
No.
Robert Redford and Dustin Hoffman.
Not All the King's Men and All the King's Horses. What are you talking
The
about?
Washington Post uncovering the Watergate scandal.
Oh, that's I'm good on that.
It was good.
What do you mean you're good on that?
Yeah, it's kind of lame.
It's a good movie. Odell Beckham Jr.
I know you go. It's a dumb joke.
Was in New York for a workout on Monday.
Yeah.
With the New York Giants. So suddenly, a return to football seems to be possible. A return to the Giants, where he made a name for himself in the NFL, seems possible. ESPN reporting no signing appears imminent. It seems likely the Giants will wait to see how the draft pans out later this week. So just a workout and a physical. Beckham has expressed his desire to play this year. He is 33 years old. He'll turn 34 in November. And the last time OBJ was relatively productive was under John Harbaugh in Baltimore in the 2023 season. He had 565 yards, 3 touchdowns on 35 catches. It was his best season since, productivity-wise, I guess the 2021 season, where he got traded to L.A., and they obviously went on to win the Super Bowl, and he had a huge performance in that Super Bowl. But how about OBJ trying to come back? He hasn't played at all since 2024.
Was he on that Dolphins team that the Titans beat on Monday night?
The 24 team, yeah.
Yeah. So that was the Levis comeback, like one of the only good games that Will Levis played?
Odell played in 9 games that year. I don't think he played in that game. He finished the year with 9 catches for 55 yards.
Okay, go ahead.
Did you guys see the full circle moment that's coming out of this?
No.
So
Other than him returning to the Giants?
Yes. So, part of that. So when the Giants traded him to the Browns, they received the 16th overall pick. That pick turned into Dexter Lawrence, who they traded to the Bengals. So now Odell Beckham returning to the place that traded him, that allowed him to get the player that has now been traded to the AFC North. So fun little who's it, what's it there?
It's more an oval than full circle.
Okay.
Dexter Lawrence didn't get traded to the Browns.
Venn diagram, close enough.
It's not really.
I mean, if you were going to get traded to one team that would resemble the Browns, the Bengals is close enough for me.
Just tried to square peg round hole it.
Hey, well, it fit. So.
Free agent quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo is considering retirement, according to NFL Network. He's 34 years old. He spent the last 2 years as a backup in L.A. with the Rams behind Stafford. And I think most of us assumed would just be back to back up Stafford again in 2026. But it seems like he may call it quits, Jimmy Garoppolo.
How many games do you think he's started? Because, he's played in a lot.
In his entire career?
Yeah, let's take Jimmy Garoppolo's starts versus, well, how many games do you think Jimmy Garoppolo has appeared in?
Oh, man. I mean, he's been in the league at this point, what, a decade?
Pretty close, if not more than a decade.
Something like 84.
Yeah, multiple years as a starter in San
80.
Francisco.
He has started 85 career games.
Oh, wow, Bert.
So who wins it?
Right on the note, Bert.
You said
Definitely,
86.
I was just tailing Bert.
And he went over, too.
Oh, is over worse than going under?
Have you never watched Price is Right? If you go over, you lose. Yeah, it's the mountain climber.
So what has he started, like?
65, 64.
64.
Oh, my. No.
Do you have it in front of you?
That's what happens when you look it up, baby.
Yeah, okay.
That's what happens when you look it up, baby.
Come
That's
on,
Big
man.
Bert brain right there.
Useless.
Yeah. Oh, am I useless for using the tools in front of me? You're not going to have a calculator. Yes, I am. I'm going to be attached to my hand at all times, lady.
64 career starts for Jimmy Garoppolo. I would have thought his number of starts would have been closer to 85 for just as long as he's been playing, because he has been in the league 12 years at this point in time, since starting in New England and then getting traded from San Francisco because Tom Brady wanted him out of there, and then ended up in Vegas for that sad year before becoming the Rams' backup these last 2 years. So the ripple effects of this would be, one, okay, does this impact the Rams and their draft strategy? Because they have had they've had a couple of different options at their disposal here. They have needs, and they've traded for a couple of different players, obviously trading with the Kansas City Chiefs. Did they give up that first-round pick in the McDuffie deal, Trent McDuffie? Or was that a second-round pick? I want to say they gave up a first-round pick to acquire Trent McDuffie.
Yeah.
The Rams? Yeah.
That's why the Chiefs have 2 first-rounders.
29, I believe.
So the Rams still do have that pick that they acquired from the Atlanta Falcons last year in the first round as a result of the James Pierce deal, which obviously has not worked out in Atlanta's favor for some off-the-field reasons. Rams probably would not spend that higher first-round pick on a quarterback, but that's another Ty Simpson potential landing spot too.
Well, speaking of the Rams, Ian Rappaport reported yesterday that the team and defending MVP Matthew Stafford have made significant progress on a new extension that should put him back in the building in 2026. His contract does run through 2026. Sean McVay has been on record saying he believes Stafford could play beyond this year. Stafford announced he would be back for sure at NFL Honors when he was accepting his MVP award. But it seems like they're trying to put a little more cushion on that deal. There was never any doubt that he was going to be back playing for the Rams this coming season. I guess now it's about who backs him up.
He's an
Will
MVP.
Levis.
He's well, actually, that should be on the table.
I mean, it's just Jimmy G and Stetson Bennett there, right?
I mean, they would have a connection, too, because Liam Cohen came from his scheme. So they would have a connection.
Like a glove.
What? You can't wait to get rid of him. What if it was just Brian Callahan's fault that Will Levis looked that bad? Because Sean McVay can do a lot more with a lot less than your average coach.
I'd agree with you if Levis didn't look exactly how he looked going into the draft in that last year at Kentucky. Like, to me, that was just kind of
No, he looked, worse.
more confirmation.
And how demonstrative he was at all of his mistakes. I don't think he was like the one instructing him to play hero ball and do things that you would only see in the Matrix.
I don't think Brian Callahan told him to.
Yeah, what was the quote? Does anyone have the exact quote? What the bleep are you doing?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Callie can take that one.
If you want to put the sins of the father, we can do that. But let this man have his own day in the sun. I
know Brian's been through enough at this point. Let me not pin Will Levis on him too.
Yeah. So there is a new highest paid kicker in NFL history as the Cowboys.
Don't take this. This is a part of my own no.
Well, you can keep. I'm not going to touch on that part of your own no, but I am going to touch on the fact that the Cowboys are giving Brandon Aubrey about $7 million per year, 4-year extension. It includes $20 million guaranteed. Signing bonus is over $8 million. And we've talked about this before, but Brandon Aubrey has one of the craziest paths to becoming the highest paid player at any position of any player you'll hear about in the NFL. He was on his couch working in computer science or something. His soccer career hadn't quite panned out. and sitting there watching a game with his wife, watching a guy miss a field goal. His wife literally said, "You could do that, I feel like. I feel like you could have made that." He had never kicked in his life on a football field. Notre Dame soccer star, drafted by Toronto in Major League Soccer, didn't really pan out, and he just went into, a regular job. And he went out for the Birmingham Stallions during COVID. He kind of emerged in USFL and then joined the Cowboys in 2023. And now at the age of 31, he is the highest paid kicker in NFL history. He has been a Pro Bowler each of the last 3 years.
Who wants to guess what Brandon Aubrey's listed nickname on Pro Football Reference is? Because it's elite.
Ooh.
Oh, it's official. Okay. Give us a hint.
It's something that you probably use in a lot of your cooking.
Oh. Do tell.
Oh, Rosemary. His nickname Rosemary. Lamest herb there is.
What is it?
Butter.
Just
Butter Aubrey.
Just butter.
Butter.
He's just smooth like that.
Smooth like butter.
That's lame.
You don't think that's cool? I
No,
think that's
that's
a cool
lame.
nickname.
That's lame as
Your
hell.
kicker's name is Butter?
No. Nah, that's dumb. You got to get that dude. Hold on, I'm gonna confirm.
You're going
with
to change it?
Yeah, I'm gonna work with my sources to get
But
this. changed.
I love that story because think about how many people in human history have watched any athletic feat on television and said, "Oh, I could do that." There's so many, countless, legions of people. And Brandon Aubrey's the one that actually made it happen and is the highest paid kicker in NFL history. So congrats to him. Shout out to his wife, who seems to be the impetus for this fantastic career that he has built in Dallas.
A career 88.2% of his field goals made. He has hit 96.9 of his extra points. He has not missed an extra point. He did have one missed extra point this season.
It might have. I think it was blocked too.
Yes.
ChatGPT gave me some nicknames for Brandon Aubrey that are already better than butter.
Very good.
Automatic Aubrey.
Okay.
No.
Dude, that's killer. The Dallas Deadeye.
I like that.
That's killer. Yeah, you want to hate on it, but you can't because it's
trying
cool
to hate
as
on
hell.
that, but I like
What
that.
else?
The Lone Star Leg.
Ooh.
That's good too.
All of that better than butter. He also has Big D boot.
The Big D boot.
Hey, come here, the Big D boot. You want to boot it for Big D?
Sounds
They
like
also
a
have-
car dealership, a used car dealership.
It does, yeah.
Big D's boot.
Some of these are dumb. The Aubrey Plaza. Because he's ice cold, it just works. is what it
No,
says.
because he's ice cold.
So bad.
She got pregnant after her boyfriend killed himself.
What is that?
I drive by on Aubrey Plaza. Can't
what is
stand her.
that?
Can't stand her.
What?
Can't stand her. I loved her in Parks and Rec, and then she just her lack of her coldness towards her ex-boyfriend.
All right, moving along.
Can't stand it.
Actually, stepping out of.
No, I'd like to sit here for a little while longer and see if Robert doesn't say something problematic.
What's the movie she's in with famous actor? He kind of looks like this.
I don't know.
Nobody would pick up that cue.
Yeah, they would. He's in Meet the Fockers. He's the dad.
Oh, De Niro?
Yes, I couldn't remember his name. Thank you.
Goodness.
What do you?
Of all the actors to not remember.
Dude, I hit Jimmy G's starts and games played on the nose, and you want to be mad at me about not knowing that?
It's any form of anti-Italian discrimination brings out Lucas's ire.
Sorry, Mussolini. Carry on.
Man, Bert is in rare form today. What is going on
I'm
with
concerned. I'm going to have to grab the steering wheel back from
you? My
at some
goodness.
point.
This is not NFL related, but it is big news. Billy Donovan has decided to step down as the head coach of the Chicago Bulls. And I just bring that up because when UNC fired Hubert Davis, that was one of the first names that people started to throw out there. They're going to go for Billy Donovan. They're going to go for Billy Donovan. There was reporting that they didn't want to wait on Billy Donovan, which in the grand scheme of things would have been like a 2-week wait, right? And I get it. Transfer portal closes, if I'm not mistaken, today. So clock is ticking. They go and hire another former NBA coach in Michael Malone. But now Billy Donovan's out there, and I do wonder how UNC fans feel about it. They're saying it is Donovan's decision. And the Bulls say they wanted to keep him in Chicago, but they respect his choice. So do we see Billy Donovan back in the college game anytime soon?
That would be a great movie. Donovan's Decision. Out this fall.
He had a career Well, he's got a career-winning record, but his record in Chicago, where he was for longer. By the way, how much better did OKC get after Billy Donovan left?
And they haven't been to the playoffs in Chicago in a few years.
No, I mean, they are. He's 226 and 256 in 6 seasons in Chicago with the Bulls. So
Isn't that crazy? Like that he wasn't fired? I mean, I am no NBA expert.
Bulls are a mess. They just, I think they also in the middle or towards the end of the season fired their general manager and maybe another like president of basketball ops. And I know there were some other firings in Chicago beyond this. So maybe Billy Donovan's just like, this isn't worth the headache at this point. I don't know if he could get a third NBA job, would probably be pushing it. But where would he land at this point? All the chairs have been taken.
Well, it's funny you say that, because Kevin O'Connor of Yahoo Sports reported yesterday that if Steve Kerr does not return to Golden State, the Warriors will pursue Florida head coach Todd Golden, who apparently has a relationship with the family that owns the Warriors from his time in San Francisco as the coach of the University of San Francisco before he was hired by Florida. Could it all end up working out there? Steve Kerr says, I'm going to ride off into the sunset. Golden State brings in Todd Golden, and suddenly Florida is there to welcome Billy Donovan home with open arms. God, I hope that doesn't happen. I would be so mad if they were to lose Todd Golden just to bring back Billy Donovan.
But why? Like, Billy Donovan hasn't been in college basketball in so long.
I don't care.
It's a totally different sport.
I don't care. He was elite.
No, I know.
Elite. I do not care. Like, yeah, it's a different sport. They pay the players now. Great. He's been in the NBA for the last whatever years. I think that would be the home run hire of all home run hires. I mean, it would be like Nick Saban coming back to the college game. That's what it would be. Nick Saban.
Billy Donovan is not Nick Saban.
I'm sorry. Would we like to read Nick Saban's resume before he went to the NFL compared to Billy Donovan's resume before he went to the NBA?
You mean like...
I'm talking about at that stage in their career.
Okay, I understand.
I mean, Billy Donovan spent more time in the NBA than Nick Saban did in the NFL, but I can't help but think of that comparison.
What do we have to give away, Robert?
Tickets to see Chris Brown and Usher.
All right. If you call us, 615-737-1045, and tell us the thing in sports that made you say, oh no, this week, we will send you to that Usher Chris Brown concert coming up next. If your energy's off, if things aren't working like they used to, you're not alone. The Tennessee Men's Clinic is here to help you, powered by Men's Pro. What you will love about the Tennessee Men's Clinic is that they've been doing this for years. They're not just the newest fly-by-night place or sketchy online pill that you've maybe seen advertised on social media. You're working with true medical providers. They run labs. They build a plan around you specifically, not one-size-fits-all type deals. They treat low performance, ED, weight loss, and even peptides like NAD+. Their treatments have worked for thousands of guys. Most men say they wish they had come in sooner. Right now, your lab panel and consultation are just $99. So call them at 615-208-9090. That's 615-208-9090 or online at TennesseeMen'sClinic.com. for the opportunity to win tickets to see Usher and Chris Brown. 615-737-1045 is the number. What in sports made you say, oh, no? Go around the room, then we'll get to your calls. So, Robert, who do you think among the NFL insiders is the most guilty of pumping up clients of agents who feed them information?
Ooh, it would be a mix between Pelissero and Rap Sheet for me.
Okay, so Ian Rappaport is one of the foremost NFL insiders and, has a lot of good information because he gets a lot of good information from agents. And a part of the information exchange is maybe gas up a client of this particular agent so that he'll feed you the next Dak Prescott contract story or something like that. So when, or maybe you gas up a team as far as contracts go, you straddle both of these things to try and find the best possible way to get the scoops. And the amount of scoops that Ian Rappaport gets are excellent. But you have to also be self-aware. Like when he broke the news that Brandon Aubrey, who we talked about earlier, would be the Cowboys, or that the Cowboys would be paying Brandon Aubrey and that he would be the new highest paid kicker. He adds additional context to the news. He says, Dallas has in recent years been proactive with getting deals done. Another example and a huge payday for the NFL's best. This tweet was so egregious because famously Dallas is not proactive about being on the forefront of their contract negotiations. So much so that Ian Rappaport was community noted yesterday by Twitter, where it says, contrary to the claim, reports indicate the Dallas Cowboys have often delayed contract extensions in recent years, leading to holdouts and higher costs for players like Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb.
Woof.
Yeah, let's just at least, if we're gonna gas up a team or a person or a client of an agent just to get the information, let's at least make sure we're a little bit more self-aware.
There's not a lot of decision makers in the NFL that have gotten criticized more for a lack of proactive action than Jerry Jones.
That's basically that's basically a Rappaport version of Mr. Editor, does my tweet look okay?
Man, like the Micah Parsons thing alone. Yeah. I mean, my goodness.
It's pretty
shameless stuff there. Oh, what made me say, oh no, this weekend was the start to the James Franklin era at Virginia Tech. Did you guys see this in Blacksburg? At the Virginia Tech spring game, which took place on Saturday, a parachuter that was skydiving into the field with a big old American flag, as they do before American sporting events, slammed into the scoreboard at Lane Stadium before kickoff of the spring game. And the audio doesn't really do it any justice. There's really no point in playing it. But,
other than, this is how legends are made.
That's exactly. And now, before I go any further, he is okay. Hokie Sports officially came out and said they are grateful to report the skydiver was safely secured. He is stable, and everything's good. But he's parachuting down, and as that song, Bert, what is it?
This is how legends are made.
You've all heard the one. Yeah. Literally, as like that hook is happening, the chorus or whatever, his parachute gets caught on the C and the H of Tech at the top of the Jumbotron.
Yes.
And he slams into the big old screen as...
This is how legends are made.
As that part of the song is dropping, and then he's just dangling. And people are horrified, and they're starting to yell.
Flag attached to him. It's probably dragging him further. He's probably got a crushed hip in this situation because, I mean, he's smashed that thing.
Smashes it. A ladder truck showed up to get him down. Wasn't tall enough. They had to go get a second ladder truck to go get him down. So
I was wondering how the hell they would get him down. I thought they were going to get like a scissor lift, and it's like, I don't think scissor lifts go that high. Like, what are they going to do?
Well, after the whole Brian Kelly thing, maybe a scissor lift not in the wind would be the best decision.
Just a big gust of wind that right as that part of the song is dropping, wham, into the Jumbotron. That made me say, oh, no.
Robert,
have you guys seen a lot of companies, a lot of people like to capitalize off of holidays or well-known ideas in pop culture? GameStop is no different. Yesterday, GameStop wanted to put out a promotional event that would maybe help some of their lesser-than clients get some money. So they put this out yesterday. Need some green? Trade your Xbox or PS5 for $420.69 in cash from $420 to $422. Need some green. You are better than that, GameStop. Actually, no, you're not. They got saved. They were saved by the whole. Do you guys remember when GameStop stock was being shorted?
Wait, so what were people bringing in game consoles thinking that they were going to get like a dime bag or something like that?
No, that you could trade in your game console to get money. That's why they're offering you $420.69. So then you could go get some green on $420.
Okay.
Just another dumb thing.
How about you pay your rent?
Hey, yeah, come on. Well, if you noticed, a lot of GameStops around the Middle Tennessee area are just shutting down. There's like where I was, Hermitage, gone. No GameStop there anymore in Bellevue.
Can't you just download? It's been a while since I've bought a video game.
They are
you can just
useless.
download them.
They are useless because everything is a digital product now.
It's if you like vintage games, right? I guess you could still go and get like Xbox 360 games.
Or like physical copies. Yeah, you can still get physical copies of games, but like they've always been a Scrooge when it comes to trade-in value and taking people for a ride, taking advantage of people who just need a little bit of money. Yeah, we'll give you 16 cents, but I'll give you $3 in store credit. GameStop, you made me say, oh no.
615-737-1045 is the number for the opportunity to try and win those Usher Chris Brown tickets. Let's start with Marcus in Nashville.
Oh, no. Don't mess up the Titans draft this year.
What?
I said, oh, no, don't mess up the Titans draft this year.
Okay.
God, Marcus wins the tickets. I don't even think we need to hear from anyone else.
I'm just going to hang
you took him off hold, man. What did these other guys
just going to go ahead and...
That's great. Oh, no. Don't mess up the Titans draft.
Oh, come on,
I'm just going to go ahead and hang up.
That was a good submission. Marcus tried. He is the second most talented Marcus Jones in the country.
Did not understand the assignment.
Yeah, that was not a strong submission to start off with. Chris in Thompson Station will do better, I'm sure.
Hey, what's going on, guys? So I went to a youth baseball game, a 14 youth baseball game down in Toothless Country, Alabama, also known as Huntsville. We got a kid on our team. They call him Big Junk. Big Junk is a big kid. He's about 6'3", about 250-ish. He always gets, they always ask for his birth certificate. And this year, there was another opposing team coach, and he was really adamant about seeing the birth certificate, kept going on and on. And so they got the birth certificate squared away. At this point in time, the kid was kind of mad. Big Junk is his name, and Big Junk is Big Junk. The kid that was pictured looked like a senior version of Kid Rock, only shorter with a longer mohawk. The first pitch, Big Junk hits a home run that landed near the Space Needle. The second inning, the next pitch, he hits another home run. Now, I'm going to preface this by saying his daddy's name is Bigfoot and his mother's name is Big Mama.
No.
They are a bigger group of individuals. His dad jumps up and says, that's why we feed him, and I like my women big. Look at his mama. The third pitch, they have yet to find the ball yet. At that point in time, I knew we was in Roll Tide country. That is my own dope moment.
Amen.
Wait, hey, before you let him go, before you let Chris go,
No, I'm not going to let him go. I'm going to put him on hold.
Is it Big Chunk or Big Junk?
With a J?
Junk.
With a J. That's amazing.
God, that
That's
nickname
incredible.
is going to
How you
carry
doing?
him
I'm
through
Big
high school.
Foot. This is Big Mama. This is our son, Big Junk.
6'3", 250.
Yeah, that's what age did he say? Like
I think he said 4. Really young child.
toddler.
Doesn't matter. That's insane. That's good.
My God. All right, Chris with a strong submission. We started off terribly. Chris brought
Big
it.
Junk versus Little Kid Rock on the mound.
Oh, man. Little Kid Rock is great.
They got to start hitting Big Junk with some pitches.
I guess
we ain't letting this guy just crank him on
I
us.
guess his birth certificate checked out.
He has documentation.
Kevin is in Smyrna.
All right, guys, I got to follow that, but it's for my wife's birthday, so I'm going to give it a shot. Luther Davis, former Alabama player, arrested for wire fraud, impersonating current NFL players. Oh, no.
A player arrested for an Alabama player arrested for wire fraud? I missed this. Lucas, do you know anything about it?
No, I'm not sure what he's talking about either. What was the name of the player again?
Mikey, who is shadowing us today, seems to know.
Something about impersonating
Somebody was
NFL players.
impersonating NFL players committing wire fraud.
Ooh, that's a good scam.
That is a good scandal. It's a good scam, you said?
Yeah, it's a good scam.
Nobody's confusing you for an NFL player.
Yeah, that's how I used to hit on girls in college, just tell them I was the backup punter.
Luther Davis, a former Alabama football player who won a national championship with them back in 2010, the 2009 season.
What position was it?
A defensive end.
Okay.
Accused of impersonating NFL players in a nearly $20 million loan scheme. Ooh. This is from People. He, quote, executed a scheme to fraudulently obtain millions of dollars in loans from multiple lenders by impersonating professional football players and falsely claiming those players were seeking multi-million-dollar loans.
People in the chat are submitting Alshon Jeffrey, who is facing up to 5 years in prison for insurance fraud. So this is a different story.
During closing for loans, Luther Davis is alleged to have, quote, dressed in disguise and impersonated the players, providing fake identification documents to convince the notary. In one instance, he is alleged to have worn makeup and a wig while impersonating a figure identified as DN in the court's document. Quick, how many NFL players with the initials DN can Robert think of?
Oh, gosh. I can't think of any.
I almost said David Neal, but it's Evan Neal. Right, Evan Neal's the right guard for the Giants. There have to be more out there. That's genius. A great submission by Kevin.
I have it for you. Sources relayed to The Guardian that former Cleveland Browns tight end David Njoku, current Green Bay Packers safety Xavier McKinney, and Falcons quarterback Michael Penix Jr. were among the players impersonated.
Wow.
God, that's a wide variety of guys. This guy must be like Dana Carvey, master of disguise levels of good. Become another person. Become another person.
All different shapes and sizes of players.
Yeah, you said $20 million, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's clearly investing back into the scam.
A plea hearing is set for Monday, and he's expected to plead guilty.
He goes back to the notary. He's like, 20 kids go into the water.
Okay, so we just had to get through the bad Marcus call to get to the two good calls. We've got David in Murfreesboro. We'll see if he can't round it out. What do you got, David?
Hey, guys. It's the first time I've ever called your show. But and I'm not a soccer fan, but my wife played college soccer as a goalie, and she showed me this video. It happened a day or two ago of this goalie over in Italy. And they had a collision, and he broke his neck in this collision. And, he's an American, but he plays in Italy. But I was also, on top of that, I was wanting to know from Lucas, who is your resident soccer expert, are injuries like this in soccer, are they rare, or is it fairly common? Because that's a very serious injury, breaking your top. It's the C1 vertebrae that he broke.
Yeah.
Thank you for the call, David.
He's going to have to see more than one doctor for that.
Jonathan Klinsmann is the player. I'm going to skate right over that joke by Robert. It is a serious injury. He's the son of Jurgen Klinsmann, the former U.S. men's national team manager and a German international. And it's not that common. Something that serious is not common. Concussions are common, but no, that was a very scary situation over the weekend.
We will pick a winner during the break. I'm sure you have a pun back there that you're trying to get off, but we don't have time. I'm Buck Rising. It's 104.5 The Zone.
It's 11 o'clock, and I have good news for you. The doors are officially open at Hattie B's locations across Middle Tennessee. Go in and get you the best part of your day, your lunch break at Hattie B's, whether it's in West Nashville, sitting out on the patio, enjoying a beautiful day, Melrose, Midtown, Broadway, or this Saturday when you're watching Nashville SC at Geodis Park, Hattie B's Hot Chicken is available right there in the concourse. If you download the Hattie B's app today, you get a free dessert just for downloading the app. You can order for pickup or delivery. Enjoy that perfect, crispy, juicy hot chicken, hot or not, and everything in between. It's whatever works for you. And if you're like me, the sides are of very high importance. Hattie B's knows that too. Go get you some southern greens, some black-eyed peas, some of those bacon cheddar grits. You simply can't go wrong. You want a healthy option? They've got you covered there too with southern salads, 2 words, cornbread, croutons. And go to Hattie B's today. 11:05. Good morning from the Circus Sports at the Mint Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Lucas Panzico. We are 2 days away from the NFL draft kicking off in Pittsburgh. Tom Pelissero of NFL Network reported on Tuesday that Tennessee corner and first-round prospect Jermod McCoy could need another surgery to repair a cartilage defect. McCoy is coming off an ACL tear as well that held him out in 2025. In other news, Mike Tomlin will be in studio in 2026. He will be working for NBC on Football Night in America. The former Pittsburgh Steelers head coach headed to the media side. For all your foundation repairs and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
We're just a couple of days away from the NFL draft. Welcome back to the show. We're happy to have you. Robert, Lucas, and me with you until 1 o'clock. 615-737-1045 is the number. If you want to participate, you can do that at any point. You can also live stream the show, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and on Twitch. So just a couple of days away from the NFL draft going down in Pittsburgh. And it has been 14 months since Jermod McCoy, the Tennessee cornerback, tore his ACL during an offseason workout. He ended up missing the entirety of the 2025 season. I'm just rehashing this. You already know the details for the most part. But he had a workout after not participating in drills at the Combine. He worked out at Tennessee's Pro Day and seemed to alleviate a lot of the concerns that could have been around any kind of ACL recovery, especially for a player who missed an entire season after the fact. But now, Lucas, there's a number of reports from Tom Pelissero most recently about additional red flags being raised, not necessarily connected to the ACL repair.
Yeah, I feel like the concerns around the ACL had faded after his pro day showing, a fast 40 time, and it was okay, all good with Jermod McCoy. And then Pelissero comes out yesterday saying that medical staffs on teams are concerned that McCoy could need another surgery to repair a bone plug in his knee. The bone plug was used to repair a cartilage defect. I don't know for sure that it's the exact same knee that he tore the ACL in. I would imagine that's the case. I don't know for sure. So this just throws another wrinkle into everything. The reporting says he could miss, quote, extensive time in 2026 in his rookie year in the NFL. So what does this mean to a player that has been a virtual lock to be a first-round pick by any expert that you look at and every mock draft that you look at? It's just a question of where will he go? Will it be within the top 15, the top 12? Could this move Jermod McCoy to the back end of the first round or even out of the first round entirely?
Yeah, it just depends on, is this knee condition, and of course we don't know enough without actual medical expertise to talk about this. Is the knee condition considered degenerative? Because the conversation that will be had by scouts and by front office executives and general managers as they get ready to draft this guy is this a one-contract player that we are preparing to spend a first-round pick on? And that was kind of the discussion around, for example, Tyjae Spears, where he had his ACL removed. And I guess the joke that was made at the time, and I think the joke that probably we made at the time, was you can't tear your ACL if you don't have one. And it's not been that's caused Tyjae Spears a number of different problems staying on the field. He's dealt with concussions. He's dealt with high ankle sprains. There's a number of different things that have happened to Tyjae Spears that have cost him availability. L'Jarius Sneed, another example of a player who was not a first-round pick. In fact, if I remember correctly, Sneed was a fourth-round pick out of Louisiana Tech by the Chiefs several years ago, and he also had a degenerative knee condition that there was a management plan for and was playing high-level corner for a period of time. He came to Tennessee. He got his money. He did not perform. He was unceremoniously, or maybe not unceremoniously, but he was cut this past offseason, or this current offseason, after having contributed essentially a nothing to the Titans with a number of different injuries also that were not really related to the fact that he had knee scopes on top of the thigh issue. They thought it was a contusion, ended up turning into something different, had to have a bone marrow transfusion as a result of this, and then, of course, also dealt with injuries again last year, too. So basically, you have to decide, is he a one-contract player? Is that worth a first-round pick at a premium position?
Could he have a Will Johnson-like slide?
Will Johnson ended up going where, Robert, in the second round to the Cardinals last year?
I believe that's correct.
Yeah, 47 overall to Arizona. I mean, he was considered by the tape the best corner probably in the class in 2025. The knee stuff slid him out of the first round. He ended up playing in 12 games, starting 10 last year, and had a solid, right, Robert, rookie season, Will Johnson?
He was okay. I mean, for a rookie corner who got thrust into starting, he wasn't bad. I would say
Especially
he played
on a defense that didn't have a lot.
He played pretty average. I can look up his metrics and coverage really quickly.
So that's the question. Now, Will Johnson, I would say, had probably a worse pre-draft process than McCoy. He did not work out at the Combine. He didn't even work out at Pro Day. So how much of the concerns were quelled with McCoy's Pro Day versus how many concerns have popped up with this situation here?
I mean, so he was projected to be a mid-first round pick to begin with.
Almost unanimously he's been projected in that sort of 12 to 15 range.
Yeah. So could he slide to the back half of the first round? Again, given teams, you can always use additional corners. Does somebody get a little extra angsty at the back of the first round? Say, okay, bleep it. We'll take a flyer on him at, I don't know, who's picking 30th right now in the NFL. Something like that. Late 20s, early 30s, top of the second round, because he's one of the best corners in the draft. Yeah. Mansour Delane is obviously talked about as the best corner in the draft. Different kinds of players, of course, but yeah, it's likely that he slides as a result of something that sounds degenerative.
From the local perspective, he and Colton Hood, McCoy more so than Hood, have been thought of as first-round prospects. Hood feels very fringe, like 30 to 32 range, maybe early second round. But if McCoy and Hood both get drafted on Thursday, they'll be the first duo of Tennessee players drafted in the first round since Eric Berry and Dan Williams back in 2010. They will be the first duo of Tennessee players that play the same position drafted in the first round since when?
Tell me.
2002, Albert Hainsworth and John Henderson.
Oh, okay.
Two defensive tackles coming out of Tennessee in the 2002 NFL draft. So you do have that from Tennessee's perspective. That has not happened in a long time, even though Hood and McCoy obviously did not play a single snap together last year.
If you could have one of them back. You could bring one of them out of the draft and bring them back to Tennessee. I know they've done a lot of work in the transfer portal, bringing in a ton of corners. But if you could bring one of those guys back, who would you pick?
Probably be McCoy.
It would be McCoy. McCoy is the higher ceiling player, but the knee stuff would be a factor there. But
you don't think his agent would tell him to hold out and wait for the draft again?
If I knew McCoy was going to miss extensive time in 2026, I'd say bring back Colton Hood. It is a shame they didn't get to play together. I mean, it would have been a big boost for a Tennessee defense that struggled last year.
Oh, my God, their secondary. What's that safety's name?
Andre Turrentine?
Yeah, the slow as molasses safety.
He had his struggles, yeah.
Turpentine.
I mean,
it's very kind of you. Luke is much kinder in front of a microphone than he is when he's talking football with his buddies.
Kill him. Kill him. Mike Vrabel just spoke to the media.
He did.
Oh, God.
He did indeed.
No. So this is independent of any kind of draft press conference. This was just him getting out in front of a podium?
And didn't take questions.
It was a 2.5 minute statement. We can play it if you'd like.
Just a verbal statement?
I need to look through it, make sure it's clean.
Might as well. Coming up next. So one of the biggest stories, and whether you consider it a football story or a TMZ story, however you look at it, is Mike Vrabel, the former Titans head coach, now Patriots head coach, and Diana Rousini, the former NFL insider for The Athletic. Diana has obviously since resigned. We've talked about that story a great deal for obvious reasons. Diana regularly appears on this show. Mike Vrabel is a coach that we covered for 6 years here in Tennessee. So there was some level of time that had to be taken to address it. But the story hadn't died. And I'm sure everybody involved is surprised by just how long and how sustained the interest in this story has been, because you have all manner of different elements now using it to continue to drive up engagement and to ask for or dig further into salacious details that may or may not be true on something that is alleged and has not been proven, but at least there have been some level of consequences now for both sides. Diana, as we mentioned, resigned last week from The Athletic amid these pictures that Page Six got a hold of that were posted in the New York Post, where the two of them were together at a very reclusive, is that the right word, or exclusive resort?
Exclusive
resort.
Like
in
a couple's resort.
Sedona, Arizona, a couple of days before the NFL owners' meetings, which were, of course, in Phoenix. Phoenix and Sedona are 2 hours away. There was no reason for either of them to be in that specific situation. They both were very strong in their denials of anything going on at the time, despite the pictures in the hot tub and the pictures on the rooftop and all these different things. Where Mike Vrabel's initial statement on this was, these photos show a completely innocent interaction, and any suggestion otherwise is laughable. This doesn't deserve any further response. Okay. So that was couple of weeks ago, and now here's Mike Vrabel providing a further response.
With that being said, I've had some difficult conversations with people that I care about, with my family, the organization, the coaches, the players. Those have been positive and productive. We believe in order to be successful on and off the field, you have to make good decisions. That includes me, that starts with me. We never want our actions to negatively affect the team. We never want to be the cause of a distraction. Those are comments and questions that I've answered for the team and with the team. We'll keep those private and to ourselves. Care deeply about this football team, and I'm excited to coach them. I also know that I'm going to attack each day with humility and focus. And what I can promise you is that my family, this organization, the team, the staff, the coaches, everybody, our fans, most importantly, will get the best version of me going forward. And that's what I know, and I'm excited to do that. But I wanted to just address this and thank you for your patience in dealing with the private and personal matter.
That's a lot different tone than these photos show a completely innocent interaction, and any suggestion otherwise is laughable. This doesn't deserve any further response.
The NFL also will not be conducting a personal conduct inquiry into Vrabel.
It doesn't affect football, right? I mean, well, if I was Bob Kraft, and we talked about this again because the story just, there's nothing happening really in the NFL until the draft, so there's nothing really to take any oxygen away from this thing, and people really seem to be engaging with it. If I'm Bob Kraft, I want to know what you're leaking, because Mike Vrabel was identified by Diana as a source.
Yeah.
So what information are you putting out there into the sphere that I may or may not know about, Mike?
It doesn't have to do with football, but this was a matter that obviously Diana has suffered some consequences from. She no longer works at The Athletic. And the NFL...
By her decision, even though it sounded like it was trending in a...
The review over Diana was trending in a certain direction.
Yeah.
And, that is a journalistic entity compared to an NFL team. But, this is a situation where the people, there are two halves to it. There's a media half and an NFL half. Vrabel represents the NFL half. The person that represents the media half is suffering the consequences. I was slightly surprised to see the NFL say that we're not even going to look into anything about the person representing us in this matter that obviously is a bad look for the league.
Did they investigate Bob Kraft for the Orchids of Asia massage thing?
Yeah, guess not.
The NFL I don't know if it depends on like what would be is it a fine? If they were to fine him, like what's the precedent for fining a coach for, again, something that nobody has acknowledged that something happened here.
Yeah.
So perhaps is the NFL qualified, or do they have legal grounds to fine a coach for alleged infidelity? Does it make a difference that Diana's not a league employee in this particular situation? If she was a working member of the NFL and a coach was involved with somebody that was on staff or working for the Patriots or in a different capacity other than an external force here, does that then subject him to an NFL investigation? I would think so.
I don't even think the alleged infidelity, as bad as it is to say, like that would be a non-issue for the NFL. The NFL isn't getting out to see, all right, which coaches and players are, having these sort of
what I'm saying is
relationships outside of their...
It makes a difference if she works for the league.
Yes, but from I don't know, Jay is in the chat and saying...
No, it's not Jay.
Theoretically is in the chat and saying, of course it affects football. Like, you think Vrabel can't get Diana to put out reports that favor the team?
AJ. The whole AJ thing.
Yeah, like this is somebody that operates in league circles in a way that is expected to be professional. I feel like there should be some sort of inquiry from the NFL that a coach of one of their 32 franchises is allegedly in an inappropriate relationship from someone that can absolutely affect the media pipeline out of New England, how people see New England, what people know and don't know about New England. I don't know. Like, it just seems kind of like, her, and we unfortunately felt like this was going to happen, but Diana just catching the brunt of it, all of it.
People are referring to it as the Rousini story and not the Vrabel story, which I think is telling about the way that we talk about things. And again, I was very clear on this from the jump. I told you that I couldn't get myself to a place where I believed that was true, but that I said there would be more information and we would adjust as it feels like there is now new information about this. I don't know how the two of you feel about it. I would still want Diana on the show in some capacity, and certainly not just to talk about this, because I've always valued her as a friend and think that she's excellent at her job. I know that people have reasons to question that at this point in time, but that doesn't change the way that I feel about somebody who's been a good friend to me for a number of years at this point. And so while I understand that that's something happened here that causes both people to have to get out in front of it, and that the NFL is not interested in digging up additional details, right? Because they don't want that out there in the public sphere. If they don't want it investigated, it's because there's something there that they don't want known.
And that would be my question. That's the reason I agree with Lucas, that it is kind of a dark mark for them not to do this, because if they did investigate it and they pulled phone calls, text, emails, and all of that was privy to the public, then you would be able to say, okay, is Mike Vrabel is she telling Mike Vrabel things that she's gleaned from other teams about strategy or about focus or about like team intent? Like, that is what they're worried about. And I mean, is there a governing body that would be able to tell them to do something? No, nothing. So I think because the lack of investigation is more of a dark mark than if they truly did the investigation and we found out what was happening.
Correct.
Yeah, it's more about it doesn't affect them winning football games, so it doesn't matter. Like the NFL is an enormous corporate entity. Like the ethics and PR side of things matters here, and yeah, I think it's a bad look.
They're telling you, no, it doesn't.
I think it's a bad look.
Nothing to see here.
I think it's a bad look that The Athletic is going to undergo an entire review process to corroborate what basically both of them said actually happened, and the NFL's like, no, we don't feel the need to look. Like, that's
well,
tough.
And The Athletic wasn't going to do it either. That's the thing. The New York Times, who is now the parent company of The Athletic, who has journalistic standards, swept in and said...
Supported her.
No. The Athletic's managing editor supported her.
I see what you're saying.
Remember, but when that came out, and I said that was a very strong statement, I was surprised by how strong a statement that managing editor of The Athletic made at the time. He then had to walk back his comments.
Yeah.
Because the New York Times said, we don't play. No, this is one of the most integral parts of our business model as a reputable news and reporting source and a place where ethics still do matter, even as, journalism caves in on itself, and people decide at what point now people care about journalism when it's about Vrabel and Diana. They don't care about journalism and other sex where it's, about supporting local newspapers, whatever. I'm not here to fight a media argument today. But this is one of those things where the New York Times swept in and said, just wait a damn minute here. This doesn't look like it's something that can just be glossed over. We need actual proof of what you're saying about this girls' trip, and where are the other people, and why aren't they pictured, and can you provide evidence of these things? And ultimately, we may never know what the investigation of the New York Times into Diana's behavior was able to discover, because in her resigning, also some kind of a signal that, okay, why do you feel the need to resign if there's not something that's going to come out and blemish you?
Yeah.
Oh, we will find out. It's about to be the summer. You think Pablo's got a lot going on? You think
What's Pablo up to?
You think he's not going to do some digging into this? He was really quick to pivot off that Kawhi Leonard Clippers tree planting organization to do something. I bet Pablo's going to come out with something.
Well, and it's turning messy because Diana continues to maintain her innocence and professionalism in the matter, where Vrabel is up there basically, in so many words, apologizing and
acknowledging something.
Yeah, acknowledging something, saying he has to make better decisions. So, yeah, it's all messy. I do feel like Diana is going to be punished enough through all this, and I do already hate everything she's going to be getting from all sides on the internet, whatever it might be, over the next however long period of time. I hate that part of it, but
yeah, nobody. I mean, no matter what, because we all. I'm not saying this just because this is a friend of mine, but like we all have missteps that we make. Hers has been a very public one, and has been subject to the court of public opinion on a national scale. Yeah. That I did not think that this thing. I did not, frankly, think Diana was famous enough of a person to kind of carry a story this way, and now she has become, I'm not saying she's a more famous figure, somebody was tailing Mike Vrabel. I think Diana just happens to be caught, not just happens to be, obviously, she and he were there in a specific spot at a specific time over the course of multiple things that have been reported, whether it be breakfast, these pictures at the hot tub, the pool, whatever. But somebody was tailing Mike Vrabel and then discovered, oh, this is an NFL insider that he's in these photographs with. And now it's the Diana Rousini story as opposed to the Mike Vrabel story.
Well, we also don't know that, too. Like, we don't know that. We don't know that somebody was tailing anybody.
Lucas, those aren't iPhone pictures. I mean, you're fair. It's speculation on my part.
Somebody could be tailing Vrabel. Somebody could be tailing Diana. Somebody could just be there at the hotel. Like, we just don't know any of that.
I think everything that we've heard about this hotel, because we've talked to multiple people who are familiar with this hotel.
That have been and stayed there.
Yes, correct. Yeah. And this is not somewhere where something like that would be allowed unless you were you're not getting pictures of a couple on a romantic getaway in a place like this where you're paying $2,200 a night. Look at all the images of them together. There's nobody around.
Yeah. Where are these other
setting?
Where are these other people they were on the trip with?
Yeah, that's
we should have some character witness interviews if that was the case. If you were there with another group of people, then for both of your sakes in the public eye, you should have some of them come forward and speak on your behalf, if that's not just some kind of fabricated story to keep this thing moving.
There's been a lot of baseless, quote-unquote, reporting about this situation. Obviously, it looks bad. It looks incredibly inappropriate. Diana is receiving every bit of punishment for it, and I think it's a bad look that the league won't even give it the time of day when clearly it is an inappropriate relationship in what is supposed to be a professional relationship that involves a major media entity that covers the NFL and the NFL itself with one of its 32 head coaches.
What is almost as troubling to me is how many other women came out when this happened and said, oh, the rest of y'all better not be pointing in glass houses. I know what y'all do. Making it sound like this is a rampant issue. Like, I feel like I saw a lot of that, like of glass house living, where it's like...
Michelle Beadle had a very strong statement or threat, for lack of a better term, about, like, don't give this woman too much stuff because I know there's more of you out there, essentially. And it's one of those things where, like, Jamel Hill got on social media, the former ESPN SportsCenter host, and said, well, if this was a male insider, And if you guys held male insiders to the same standard that this woman is being held to, then it would be a completely different conversation about the level of behavior. And while we do acknowledge, I mean, we just talked about Rap gassing up the Cowboys for something that's just not true, right? The Dallas Cowboys are not a proactive organization when it comes to contract negotiations, and yet here is Rap Sheet, formerly of the NFL Network, an entity owned by the owners and now since sold to ESPN, saying, no, that's all the things that the Cowboys have done. Look how proactive they are in getting community noted on social media because it's just not factually true. There is a different line when it gets into personal relationships, as this is being alleged to be, versus, I don't think nobody is alleging that Adam Schefter is sleeping with his sources. But they are, holding that Mr. Editor thing up from a couple of years ago, right? Where, I don't know, it felt like that didn't have all the salacious components to it. So people just kind of shrugged their shoulders and said, yeah, we knew Schefter was probably getting feedback that way. When by journalistic standards, you should not show a source a story that you're getting ready to publish and then give that source the ability to provide you feedback on what you're getting ready to put out into the world.
Yeah, like the NFL media machine has become such that stuff like that will come out and it's like, oh, well, that was reported by Adam Schefter. Like, to me at this point, Adam Schefter reporting something is basically the league announcing something, or a team announcing something and doing it through Schefter.
The thing I also think is dumb about this, people bringing up, if Adam Schefter was hooking up with an NFL coach, this wouldn't be this big of a... Yes, it would.
It'd be a huge story.
Yes, it would. It would absolutely be probably the biggest story in sports. I think it would be bigger than what this became.
Yep.
If Adam Schefter, if it came out that he had a relationship with Dan Campbell or another NFL general manager, it would be massive. Just to say that it wouldn't be is ridiculous.
Yeah. So it's to me, and again, I understand that I have bias here. To me, it is a sad story because it is going to impact both of their families far worse than anybody else who have had to deal with whatever this ends up being. And we, again, may never know what it actually is proven to be because at every turn, people are taking steps to avoid getting to the actual truth of it, whether it's the NFL's lack of interest in investigating Mike Vrabel, whether it's Diana resigning from The Athletic before an investigation there concludes. There is something there that people don't want out more public than this thing has already become, even though it might as well have happened for the way that people are treating this. Like, it almost doesn't matter what happened now or not for the way that both of these parties are going to be viewed moving forward and what their families are going to have to carry with them as a result. So it's, it's just, it sucks. 615-737-1045 is the number. If you want to participate, what is ESPN Jeopardy?
You'll find out.
Next. Welcome back to the show, fueled by Hattie B's Hot Chicken, the best hot chicken in the world. Did you see, speaking of, and this may be a finable offense, but we were talking about her earlier. Oh, wait. You didn't want to play that out?
They cut it. No, I was hoping to get the Alex Trebek.
I thought I was too. That's why I laid out. This may be a finable offense, Robert, but have you seen our friend Mina Kimes crushing it on Celebrity Jeopardy? It's fair.
She's been doing a great job.
She's doing a really great job. Who's Jonah from Veep? What's that actor's name?
Oh, he's great. What's his name? He's so good in Veep.
In fact, Robert, there's a pretty funny clip from Mina Kimes and this actor.
Timothy Simons.
Timothy Simons.
Big mustache.
He has a mustache now.
Oh, I don't know. I just saw a picture of him with one.
Okay. There's a clip of Mina and Timothy Simons trying to figure out a question about the planets that I thought was pretty funny, if you could find that audio at some point. But
I can't. There's too many of these things in here.
Too many of what?
Too many clips.
Oh, the system is full?
I typed in Mina Kimes and Timothy Simons Jeopardy, and there's like 700 clips of them.
Okay, well, add Uranus into your search, and you'll find what I'm talking about. How about that for a tease?
Why didn't you say that up front?
Well, I was hoping for the payoff of Uranus as the joke, but either way. Joe Buck is going to host ESPN Jeopardy. So you remember Dan Patrick's not still doing Sports Jeopardy, is he?
No, that hasn't been on since like 2016, I believe.
Oh, has it been that long? Okay. So Dan Patrick has for a long time hosted a show called Sports Jeopardy for NBC and their streaming platform a number of years ago. But that's, as Robert says, has since gone away. So Joe Buck, who's been at ESPN now for a couple of years, he does Monday Night Football play-by-play. He's, how old do you think Joe Buck is? Because Joe Buck has been around for 100 years as a play-by-play person. And I bet
60?
He's 57. So, I mean, but I wonder when Joe Buck did his first, nationally broadcast game. Because he went to Indiana but didn't graduate. He talked to one of my classes one time and then basically told us, I got my career because my dad was doing Cardinals games and I just kind of walked into the booth and started doing it.
Eagle.
A bad cough back there.
Yeah, famously.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. So, Joe Buck is going to host, he is finalizing a deal to host ESPN Jeopardy, according to Front Office Sports, a trivia show that will stream and possibly air across the Disney family of networks. So I think that makes a lot of sense. Now, Joe Buck's got a lot going on, and I'm sure that this is something that's going to take a lot of time. But did you ever watch his talk show? He had a talk show on HBO. Either of you knew that?
Yeah, I didn't go. I read his book. I remember he talked about in his book how that did not exactly pan out for him.
Yeah.
You guys should have a show together. Just be Buck and Buck. What the Buck?
No.
Who the Buck is that? You know,
any reason for Joe to stoop that low?
Yeah. I don't think my ego could handle having another Buck in the room. It would not be for me.
He would be the bigger Buck in the room. You upset when another Buck's got a better rack than you? Better set of antlers?
12 point,
Yeah.
Well, famously, he got antler transplants. Remember, he got the hair plugs?
Mm-hmm.
So his are genetically engineered as opposed to organic.
They're working well for him.
Sure. No, didn't he almost lose his voice because of hair plugs?
Yeah, it was kind of crazy.
Oh, yeah. It's a crazy story.
Total freak thing where it affected his vocal cords and he literally couldn't speak above a whisper for weeks and months.
God, you need to get hair plugs, Buck. You don't like that?
No.
Yeah, you could probably use some.
All right, back off. I see your receding hairline too. You better just watch it.
No, this thing is luscious, man.
Okay, it's very top heavy though. You're gonna be one of these people that it goes all the way back Friar Tuck style.
No, it looks ridiculous from the back too.
Well, no, it's not the back. It's the edges that I'm looking at here.
Pull them edges back. Let me see them edges real quick. Oh no, they look clean.
Yeah,
he got a good looking forehead. See, mine is the problem. If you look at mine with my hair pulled back, I have you could fit two hands on my forehead. I mean, I've been as the kids say, looks maxing. Have you guys know what a derma roller is?
Is that the ice roller that I have?
No, it has like tiny little needles in it, and you kind of like roll it on your hairline. It doesn't hurt. You can't like feel it. It's just like little tiny pricks along your hairline, and it kind of like increases blood flow. Cheyenne got it for me. She's
Jay's also selling you out in the chat. He says, we've seen your father, Lucas.
Don't you bring Lorenzo into this.
Don't bring Lorenzo.
Lorenzo is a good soul. A pizza-making paisan.
Yes, indeed.
What does paisan mean, Lucas?
Honestly, I think it's
like a buddy.
Yeah, like paisano, like a friend, a buddy, and it's just kind of an Italian American jargon thing.
Ask me what a mushroom is in Italian.
Go ahead. What's a mushroom, Bert?
It's fungi.
Good job.
A fungi.
What are we talking? So he's doing ESPN Jeopardy. So he's just basically taking over Sports Jeopardy, and ESPN's going to broadcast it.
Yeah,
like same format and everything.
Yeah,
we should do an entire day of just Sports Jeopardy on the show this summer at some point.
You just want to kill a day of shows?
Like the heat of July?
Oh, yeah, for sure. No, listen, we haven't done the Tennessee geography being a long time. That killed a couple of shows for us for some
college football trivia. Josh Pate came in for a couple of those.
I did pretty well at that. Better than the two of you expected me to do.
I think I would stink at it.
College football trivia?
The stuff that you and Josh Pate call people casuals for are the things that I would. Like, what are the founding members of the Big Ten?
Who won the first ever BCS national championship game?
No clue. 0. Alabama. That'd be my guess.
Oh, you've just offended this entire state.
You know.
Is it Tennessee?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah, of course.
Why do you think you've offended this entire state?
Well, I did that yesterday by poo-pooing on Dolly Parton.
Okay, yeah, no, don't get away from the microphone. We should have sent your ass to the shadows for that. That was poorly done by you.
I'm just trying to provoke Lucas. It's hard to get him off his perch, and I know that if I come at his queen and I don't miss.
Phrasing.
No, come on. So Joe Buck on Jeopardy. It'll be a lot of fun.
Okay, but is Joe Buck? So the only other way I know how to talk about this is like Jason Kelce was doing way too much at ESPN, and they're now trying to put Jason Kelce in all of the different ESPN places. And I don't I enjoy Jason Kelce just fine. I just don't need him on every part of ESPN broadcast. I enjoy Stephen A. Smith just fine. I don't need him as a part of every ESPN broadcast. Right? This is something that ESPN tends to do. Whether McAfee, Feinbaum, any of these bigger profile people, I don't know that Joe Buck is capable of being overexposed because I find him delightful. There is a portion of the population that doesn't like Joe Buck, though, right?
Yeah, people do seem to.
Very strongly, and that seems to have faded now that he's just been in our lives for so long. But for the longest, I felt like he was the most polarizing play-by-play guy out there.
I think the Randy Moss thing stayed with him for a long, long time. When Randy Moss did the mooning celebration. This is Randy Moss as a Viking. Like, this is going way back.
Yeah, but he didn't even moon anybody. He just acted like he was mooning.
He mimed that he was mooning after the touchdown.
What did he say?
And Joe Buck just was immediately like, oh, that's disgusting. That is disgusting for Randy.
Acts. You could probably find it. It's
like
a pretty famous
kind of went in on Randy Moss, and that moment is pretty infamous. It followed him around for quite a while.
It was an extreme reaction for Randy Moss not even showing cheeks.
Yeah,
like it was not even a half moon. Like he did less than Bert does to Slay when he's getting ready to come in studio when he drops his pants and jumps up in the air.
Don't talk about me.
People have noticed the ass cheek print on the glass.
I don't be putting my ass on the glass. This is not a prison situation.
Just scared the hell out of Mikey, who for some reason decided to shadow us today for this show. Now Mikey is scared that he's looking at your ass prints on glass.
I have never put my ass on the glass. Just near it.
That's it.
It is never touched.
Outright lie.
So is this going to be a situation where the contestants are just regular folks, or is he going to bring in athletes and media
fear
people?
That it's going to be Stephen A. Smith and Jason Kelce competing on Joe Buck's ESPN Jeopardy. Like, that's where I feel that I feel like ESPN saw people like Mina going on Celebrity Jeopardy and being like, why are we letting her do that? We should do it. We should do our own thing. Let's get Joe Buck to host it.
Being able to run as he shoots the moon to the fans here in Green Bay.
That is a disgusting act by Randy Moss. And it's unfortunate that we had that on our air live. That is...
He went in.
But no, his ass isn't even out.
Is that Chris Collinsworth? It sounded like Collinsworth.
No. Were they ever together?
It did sound like it.
I mean, it's 20-something years ago.
Let me hear it again. Let me hear the start of it again.
Playing off and Randy Moss
yeah,
without
yeah, that's
even really
Collinsworth.
being able to run as he shoots the moon to the fans here in Green Bay.
That's a pretty good line, shoots the moon.
Yeah, that's really good.
By Randy Moss. And it's unfortunate.
A disgusting act by Randy Moss.
Yeah.
And it was a disgrace that it was on our airwaves.
I mean, just very upset, especially because you don't think of Joe Buck as a prude that way,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Like
I followed him around. Yeah, that was Collinsworth. He was working for Fox.
Huh, interesting. 615-737-1045, the number. We're going to lay out our Titans dream draft scenarios in the final hour on Buck Rising. It's 1045 The Zone.
12 o'clock, good afternoon from the Circus Sports at the Mint Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Lucas Panzico. We are 2 days away from the NFL draft kicking off in Pittsburgh. Titans with the number 4 overall pick. Tom Pelissero of NFL Network reported on Tuesday that Tennessee cornerback and first-round prospect Jermod McCoy could need another surgery to repair a cartilage defect in his knee. McCoy is coming off an ACL tear that held him out all year in 2025. Meanwhile, in New England, Mike Vrabel met with reporters today addressing allegations of an inappropriate relationship with he and reporter Diana Rousini following photos that were taken in Arizona. Vrabel saying, quote, "I've had some difficult conversations with people I care about, with my family, the organization, the coaches, the players. Those have been positive and productive. In order to be successful on and off the field, you have to make good decisions. That includes me. That starts with me," end quote. For all your foundation repairs and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
The draft is 2 days away. It doesn't exactly sneak up on you. God knows we've talked enough about it, but it is right around the corner. And we are getting ready to lay out for you our dream draft scenarios here for Tennessee in this next hour. 615-737-1045 is how you jump in. If you would like to tell us your dream draft scenario for the Titans, you can do that via the phones. There's also the F&M Bank chat on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch, where the show is live streamed, of course, if you would like to watch along. So I've had a couple of people reach out. By the way, did the station put out something about who we all picked for the first round? Was that happening today?
Yeah, they posted something on Instagram at 104.5 The Zone.
Robert, who was your submission?
For Jimmy's mock draft?
No. For the one that who was it? AJ texted us about.
Didn't nobody text me?
Oh,
I'm not included, I guess.
Okay. Who would it have been if you were picking 4th overall?
That's a tough one. I'm really, and I know a lot of people are going to say, "Oh, it's not a premium position. It's not something that's really going to help them right now." But I really like Max Bredesen out of Michigan. I think he could really help that run game. Everyone talks about wanting to help Cam Ward out, short yardage, go back to the 2023 playoff run. Great cat.
What's the name of this game?
Max Bredesen, fullback out of Michigan.
What's the name of this game?
Game that I'm unfamiliar with what you're talking about.
It's your favorite game to play, where you ask somebody if that's a real player or if it's somebody that you just came up with on the fly.
Oh, yes, like Professor Dingle.
First name Professor.
Last name Dingle.
So
Dixie on the F&M Bank chat made me laugh. Said J-Rob foaming at the mouth hearing the McCoy news.
Watch out, Dolphins fans.
I want to draft him so bad.
Oh, it's still my fault this team sucks?
Yes. Yes, John. I mean, we could have gotten him on. Do you guys regret not having J-Rob on at any point? Because he was trying to get into podcast stuff before he took this Dolphins job. I would have been curious to talk to him about a number of different things. I know he had done a couple of interviews here locally in the last couple of months. But dream draft scenarios for the Titans. So, what's the latest information that we have on the Titans? Lucas, you brought it up to start the show that it was very convenient that yesterday's news cycle looked the way that it did. From what standpoint, for the audience who wasn't listening to us at 10 o'clock?
Yesterday's news cycle involving
the Titans,
Cardinals.
Regarding the Jeremiah Love, regarding the Cardinals.
That at the same time, there's just this big wave on one day. Cardinals love. Hey, everybody. Cardinals very much love Jeremiah Love. Just so everybody knows.
I also heard that. I also heard people saying that they love Love. Hold on, let me tell everyone that I know. 1 second.
Yeah.
Hey, did you guys know the Cardinals love Love?
He's yelling into the hallway.
Literally yelling into the hallway.
They said they were unfamiliar familiar. They said they didn't know.
Well, it's good that you were here to tell them.
Yes, well, I mean, I'm glad to be of help.
I do like that scenario that they discovered Jeremiah Love this week. Oh, you guys.
Have you guys seen this running back out of Notre Dame?
Why don't we just take him?
Jadarian Price? No.
The other guy.
The other guy. He's
Why did nobody
electric.
tell us about this?
God, we make so much money.
So, what is the Cardinals' argument for drafting Jeremiah Love?
He's a good player.
Which is exactly the same argument it is here. If he's the best player on your board, then you just take the best player available. If Monty Ossenfort can't gaslight somebody into giving him a trade back offer, which he seems just desperate as hell to do. It may work out in Monty's favor. It may be a situation like the Titans in 2017 where they had the 5th overall pick, where they were begging and pleading with everybody just about to trade back for the opportunity to come up and trade that 5th overall pick to somebody else so that they could potentially take Corey Davis later in the draft. They had to stick and pick. They took Corey Davis. Okay. Now, if it is simply the same conversation as the Titans, well, if we can't trade the pick, we'll just go best player available. What kind of a situation does that put the Titans in? Because did you notice also that there was as strong of a chorus yesterday from the same number of insiders and the same number of people about, well, I don't think the Titans are going to take Jeremiah Love anymore. Did you notice that?
Peter Schrager. Robert, I just sent it in fact, if we want to play this.
I already had the cuts. Do you want him talking about the Cardinals at 3 taking Love or his opinion on the Titans
Let's
at 4?
start with the Titans.
Yeah.
Oh, and you'd like me to play that now?
Sure would.
Cardinals at 3. I do think the Cardinals have great interest in Jeremiah Love. That would be a 3rd overall pick. However, I also know that the Cardinals would be listening to those who want to call up to trade up. So the more that we see Jeremiah Love 3 to the Cardinals could also be kind of pumping that geyser a little bit and saying to everybody outside, hey, come on in. If you want, we're open to business. Here's the negative on Jeremiah Love 3. Forget the running back value. That's one conversation. They're already paying Tyler Algier. They're already paying James Conner. If you add in Jeremiah Love to Arizona's backfield, you have a $25 million running back room on one of the worst rosters in football. That would be the antithesis of team building. That would basically be everything we've learned over the last decade on how you build from the inside out, and you don't pay your running back, and you don't pay your safety, and you don't pay your off-the-ball linebacker. That would be basically the inside out of that in the inverse. And you're saying with the 3rd overall pick, we're going to take a running back, and then we're going to pay $25 million to our running back room while we have holes all over the rest of the roster. But then I go back to what I was told by an NFL GM with a top 10 pick. Throw positional value out the window for this draft. Why? There aren't a ton of great offensive tackles in this draft. There's a bunch of good ones. There's no great ones. There aren't a ton of lights out pass rushers in this draft. There's a couple great ones. You've got Reese and Bailey. They're both considered top 10 picks in any draft, but these are not Myles Garrett or Aiden Hutchinson.
So that was Peter Schrager on his podcast, Robert?
I believe so. The Schrager Hour. I think that's where it came from.
So now there's some dialogue of okay, Arizona might take Love. And then there's, well, the Titans didn't want Love anyway, so they're going to just go with the best available edge. And it's you're trying to figure out, I think we used the term yesterday, the phrase yesterday, see the forest through the trees, like what's real and what's not, what's smoke screen and what's not. How much of it is just general dialogue because we don't know what the hell is going to happen in the draft? And people are just like, okay, well, if that happens, we'll do something else.
I think so much. So much. Can we hear Peter Schrager on what he does or does not think the Titans will do it for?
Well, I know I spoke with someone in the organization in Tennessee, and they told me this morning that they have seen 6 different players tagged to them this morning for their 4th overall pick by people in the media. 6. There's the 4th overall pick, and 6 different players have been tagged to them. I will say this. I don't think the Titans are taking Jeremiah Love anymore. I am moving off of that. That was something I had in my mock draft and felt like that was the pick. As we are now 4 days before it, I do not think the Titans are taking Jeremiah Love at 4. I think the Titans are taking either one of the two following players. Sonny Styles, the linebacker out of Ohio State, or the Bailey Reese, who doesn't go there or is available. And then my third backstop would be Carnell Tate. Yeah, Carnell Tate could go as high as 4.
Okay, so Peter Schrager. What is the most likely outcome here for Tennessee? And how close does that get you to what you're trying to accomplish this offseason? Because, again, 6 different players means you could do anything, and you could be right here. It doesn't have to be the thing that you've hyperfixated on as a fan, which is more likely than not Jeremiah Love.
Fans have completely hyperfixated on Jeremiah Love, but all of those names Pete Schrager just mentioned are good players.
Yes.
And you're going to come away with a good player at 4.
I swear to God, I promise you, it's going to be okay.
It's going to happen. You don't know. Now, will those players be good NFL players? Absolutely no clue. But you will come away with a good prospect at 4 that will be very easy to get excited about if you don't completely box yourself into the running back that you want at number 4 overall, which I fear many Titans fans have.
So let's break that up a little bit. Since we have this new information to work with, why don't we work our way through, all 3 of us, our dream Titans draft scenarios coming up next.
This is a different court, Blair.
Same result, Slay.
Oh, okay, Blair. See, that's Tyler Tanner. See, Tyler Tanner's in the house now.
Let's see what you got. Jerry's out, Blair.
Blair, come on. Okay, Blair, just come sit down. Come on, Blair. Blair, stop. You're going to get hurt. Blair, get off the court. That's enough.
What's the verdict, Blair?
The courtroom is where I play ball.
Boy, Durham, injury law. And that ain't got no roof.
2 days out, dream scenarios for the Tennessee Titans in the 2026 NFL Draft. We want to hear them as the smoke screens are flying, the mock drafts are getting thrown out at the last minute. Jeremiah Love seems to be all the buzz in Nashville. But if you're a Titans fan and you could specifically draw it up in any way for it to shake out for the Titans, what would have you glowing on Friday or on Monday when we're here recapping all 3 days of the NFL Draft? Now, how do we want to do this? Do we want to go specifically day one? Do we want to say the first 3 rounds? How wide do we want to cast this net for this conversation?
Let's make it 4 rounds. Let's do the first 2 days in the first round of day 3 for this purpose. And I think trade should be on the table. I think that a number of different positions are obviously on the table. So round the room, and we can start with whomever you guys want to start with. I think the fan base is going to particularly hate mine, so we can go last with me if you want, and you guys can give them the feel good on the front end, and then I'll hit them with their vegetables and fruits and vegetables draft picks afterwards that are less fun and less sexy. Robert, do you have a dream draft scenario?
Oh, you want me to go first?
Sure.
Well, I wasn't really prepared.
Okay, Lucas, do you want to go first?
You said first 4 rounds.
First 4 rounds.
So that is pick 4, pick 35, pick 66, and pick 101.
And if you would like to trade back or trade up in any of those situations, you are able to do so. If it's a part of your dream draft scenario, you just have to outline who you are trading with and which spot you are trading to.
Okay. I'm not going to do that because I don't know who is looking to go up in the 40s or the 30s. But my best case scenario is a trade back for the Titans. My best case scenario is a trade back for a team that
at 4
is in love with Love at 4. Correct. A trade back to preferably nowhere further back than 14 or 15 in my mind. And if the Titans are coming away with, in the first 4 rounds, offensive line, wide receiver, and edge help, and that's just 3 positions with room to find best player available with that 4th, then I'm happy. I'm happy if they can check those boxes. And that could look like Akeem Mesidor at edge, Denzel Boston with the number 35 overall pick at wide receiver. It could look like, who's the offensive lineman out of Penn State? Vega?
Vega Ione.
But a trade out of 4 to me would get things kicked off the right way for the Titans tomorrow or on Thursday.
Yeah, that's what my dream. And if I was looking at someone, I would look at the Giants. Maybe they want to pull a Houston Texans situation and pull their 2 favorite players out of the draft like the Texans did with C.J. Stroud and Will Anderson. But that is a lot of math on my part to figure out what kind of a trade and compensation would work for that. I think Dallas would also make some sense for them to move up to 12. They're right on the brink of getting a first-round type player. As far as blue chippers are concerned, they could move up to 4 and get a player they would not be privy to at 12. But you know what? In my scenario, I'll say they do trade. The Cowboys trade 12 and a 2027 first, just so I don't have to do any extra math. And this is my dream scenario. The Titans would fall back to 12, and they take a player who has not been mocked to them because the value is not there. At number 4, the player Lucas just alluded to, Vega Ione. Somebody that would help solidify the offensive line. Titans fans would be very upset, but you would get a future 2027 first out of the situation, and you still get what a lot of Titans fans have been talking about they want in Jeremiah Love, help for Cam Ward. It would be in a different form. It would help fill your offensive line needs and help propel, hopefully, this offensive unit into the future. That's what I would do in the first round.
If you were watching here on Zone TV and you saw Lucas just sprint out of the camera shot and out of the room, it's because he's been dealing with a bout of explosive diarrhea today, and so he will be right back with us.
I hate it for him. Hate it for him. I'm trying to tell him to get more fiber in his diet.
He's got to stop just eating
he
hot
left
chicken.
his food in there, though.
He did. Yeah. Do you want to? Well, I mean, it's just giving him explosive diarrhea. Are you sure you want to come in here and eat his food? Quickly. He's coming back. Quickly. You better run. Quickly. You better protect your food from
Did
Robert.
you think I was going for the bagels?
Yeah, he think you.
I had to take a call. I'm sorry.
He thought you. No, it's okay. We told everybody about your explosive diarrhea bout. We understand. It's a shame that you slipped and fell on it in the hallway. It was there's a mop, there's a bucket. It's a scene.
Disaster.
It's a scene out there.
Zach is out there cleaning it up.
Well, he's used to doing that at this point, I guess.
I got a new dishwasher.
Okay. Very happy for you.
It was getting installed.
Very happy for you. So in this situation, Robert was just laying out a similar path forward for the Titans, where he also thinks that a trade back would make the most sense for the Titans. And that's where I've kind of gone back and forth on this a number of different ways. Because you have to find the best possible medium to supporting Cam Ward, but also improving your depth and your defensive abilities here. You don't have enough juice up front still. I know that you've bought a defense and you expect to draft your offense in free agency. The whole thing should not be lopsided. You should not be operating in extremes as far as outlining this situation. So again, Robert, for reference, you were saying Vega would be your first round pick in a trade back situation with Dallas?
Yeah, at 12 for sure.
What are you eating, a muffin? What kind of pastry is that?
It's a bagel with a walnut butter cream cheese. What is this?
I don't know, but I can hear a walnut stuck in your throat.
This is delicious.
Yes, very happy for you.
Maybe even a Spencer Fano if he were to fall to like the 12 range.
I think, just hang on a second. Give me 1 second.
Okay, take your time. It's not like we're in the middle of doing a live radio show or anything.
I'll take this out in post.
Okay.
The sounding is Fano's not even going to make it out of the top 10. Sounds like he would be the B-plus pick for the Chiefs if someone did not fall to 9 at who they wanted.
That's all you had, and then you're back to your bagel?
Yeah, I'm back to your bagel.
Okay. And Lucas, so you did not lay out specifically players who you would be interested in because you didn't outline a trade partner for the Titans, just that a dream scenario for you would involve a trade back out of 4 and picking up additional capital.
Yeah, because I think there's just a few edge rushers especially. Doesn't it feel like there's a pretty big crop of edge rushers that are all on kind of a similar level? Like there's Bain and Bailey. And then there's and then Arvell Reese obviously is sort of a developmental player. But the Malachi Lawrence out of UCF or Akeem Mesidor out of Miami, feels like these guys just, you can keep listing them off. Zion Young from Missouri, that you're going to end up with Gabe Akis, right, out of Illinois, I believe is how you say his name, opted out of the Music City Bowl this past year. You're going to end up with a good player at edge there in that range, late first round, early second round. So it's less about the specific player. I'm not like head over heels over Mesidor compared to Zion Young. I'm not going to pretend like I'm sitting there crunching the tape on the two guys to tell you which I prefer over the other. But it's more about boxes being checked. If the Titans can come away from, let's just say, the first 2 days of this draft, addressing offensive line, edge, and receiver, I'm pretty happy if I'm a Titans fan. And there's more work to be done on the roster, and the cornerback room needs help and all of these things. But that balance of adding to that Robert Saleh offense and what he wants to do with the pass rush and also putting more pieces around Cam Ward is what I would like to see the Titans achieve early on when you're looking for the higher ceiling players.
So I went a little more in detail with this exercise, and I used the A to Z Sports mock draft simulator that we have done several different mock drafts before to kind of help me through what this would look like in a real life situation. So I also would prefer a trade back over what they currently have on the table with their options. I'm not against drafting Jeremiah Love, but I'm not overwhelmingly for it, if that makes any sense. I think that there are multiple opportunities, and if you want to give somebody the opportunity to acquire Jeremiah Love, who more desperately needs him than you do, and you can pick up an additional first-round pick in the process for that number 4 pick, that would be my preference. So the way that I outlined it was I was going to trade, and in this mock draft simulator, they offer you the opportunity to pick from different trade offers. So I also, Robert, traded back with the Cowboys. So I gave up 4, and I got back 12 and 20 in return for that 4th overall pick. And I also drafted Vega, the offensive lineman, the interior offensive lineman, the guard from Penn State, because they desperately need a right guard situation. Also, I think the more time passes between them and Kevin Zeitler, I don't think Kevin Zeitler, it could happen, sure. They could throw a bunch of money at him at the last minute if they really get desperate to sway his opinion. But I think Kevin Zeitler wants to continue to play, but play for a more meaningful, play for a team further along in its process and its competitive cycle. And Zeitler right now is not currently under contract. So you need interior offensive line desperately. This is the best interior offensive line prospect available.
And even if he comes back, 36 years old, was battling through injuries last year. He played. I mean, he missed one game, but he was battling through stuff all year. There's no guarantee that Kevin Zeitler comes in and just slots in perfectly there at guard and you don't miss a beat.
It's a different system, different coach. There's going to be a lot of differences between his situation this year, his situation this coming year.
Who'd you take at 20?
I took Omar Cooper Jr.
Ooh, I love that.
From my alma mater.
I absolutely love that.
I satisfied the wide receiver need and also satisfied the interior offensive line need, both in the first round. Now, you might tell me 20 is a little rich for Omar Cooper. I'm perfectly comfortable with it, given the options that were on the board for what it's worth. The other wide receiver who was still available in that range was Casey Concepcion out of Texas A&M. My preference there is for Cooper based on what the Titans already have on their roster. Then in the second round, I drafted Zion Young. So there's your edge player, the Missouri edge player, who I think fits favorably just based on talking to smarter people than us like Cosell and Todd McShay and Mina Kimes in these last couple of weeks. I like Zion Young for the fit and for the value there at 35. And then I got your Notre Dame running back, but I got him at 66. I got Jadarian Price at the top of the third round and finished off my four-round mock draft with Keontae Scott, the cornerback from Miami.
He was available in your mock.
He was available in my mock at 101.
That is interesting.
Yes.
I do not think that will be the case come draft day.
It may not be, and I got an A- value for that selection.
I absolutely believe that.
Yes.
And if you like strong nickels, who, as Mike Tomlin used to say, put your face in the fan, he's the guy who can do that. A blitzing nickel kind of reminds me of, why can I not think of his name? Bengals nickel for a long time. I'll figure it out.
Mike Hilton?
Mike Hilton.
Yeah.
Very Mike Hilton.
The Titans fans hate Mike Hilton for what he did to them in that playoff game a couple of years ago.
He had two picks. Yeah.
One on the goal line and then one to end it.
Did you already do your second round pick, Lucas? Buck just went through his whole cornucopia.
He didn't do a second round pick. I just basically asked you guys for dream scenarios to lay out. Mine was a little more thorough, and maybe I didn't give you guys ample time to prepare for this, but I just wanted to make sure that I had actual names and positions and values to put on these guys, because that to me is a dream scenario, right? And if you can get an off-ball linebacker that you feel has some value there, I don't know. I mean, you could, if you went, I don't know, where is Jacob Rodriguez at 35 too rich for that position, given what might be there? Because he's a good-ass player.
Yeah, what you'd be dealing with is the limited athleticism through testing that we saw at the Combine. But, I mean, I thought he should have been, like, Defensive Player of the Year in college. What's that award?
Oh, the Thorpe. Thorpe is for the defensive backs. I'm sorry.
Nagurski?
I think that's right.
I think you're right. I mean, excellent player. But you would be getting a limited athlete. I saw, who put this out yesterday, that the Steelers were talking about Chris Johnson or J-Rod at 20. That are not 20, 21. What did the Steelers pick? 22, 23,
21.
25, 26, 20, 21. 21. And in the second round.
Just do a 21 Savage joke.
Yeah, I snuck it in there. Still finding things out about you.
That was pretty good.
There's a nerd in there. Dude, it would be hard-pressed for me. I have gone back and forth on this. When we talk about polarizing players in the NFL draft, I think this guy is one of the first names that comes up on day 2. In the second round, if Robert Saleh could convince me that he could get to this guy as far as effort and they had a plan to manage the injuries, I think Caleb Banks with Jeffrey Simmons would just be elite. I just want to see big dudes wrecking havoc. Caleb Banks, 6'7", ton of upside. Lucas, damn, we're falling off, dude.
Oh, damn. Sorry, buddy.
You got to be better about it, but we'll work at it. We'll check the tape and get better. a lot of question marks surrounding it, and I know a lot of people are going to cite T'Vondre Sweat. We took a swing on a big guy before. We're not taking another swing in the second round. We need an instant contributor. I just think his upside, if you can reach him and get him to stop hurting his foot, would be so great. The defensive line, and we talked about ad nauseum how he likes to rotate guys. That's not going to be the everyone's favorite pick, but I think if everyone realizes their true potential, that guy would be a monster next to Jeffrey Simmons. Third round, I guess I'm the only one up.
Jordan Reed had Caleb Banks going 45 for what it's worth to Baltimore.
Ooh, never mind. I changed my mind.
In the second round.
Change my mind. Don't care. But for what it's worth, I would also be scared if he came to us. I would be scared anywhere he goes because you can reach people who have off the field or maybe divas or whatever. You can reach them and get them to buy in. There's nothing you could do if a guy's injury prone or doesn't have the heart to play through injuries. I don't think you can fix that. That would be the biggest question mark with him. And I'm not privy to interviews that he had with NFL coaches. I think it will be evident wherever he goes how those interviews went. Third round, Max Bredesen out of Michigan, fullback.
Oh, you finally get your fullback.
Yeah, I think it would be a lot of fun. I'm going to say names. I think
there's no way Brian Dable uses a fullback.
No chance. No chance. I think tomorrow will be the day where I pull some funny names and make up some funny names, and you guys have to tell me if it's actually a player in the draft or not.
I think that would be good, and that would be your way of mailing it in since you're not going to be here the rest of the week.
Oh, don't get me started, dude. I can't even look Cheyenne in the face. I don't even want her to think that I'm going to be available for her this weekend. I'm going to be gone. No one's going to be able to reach me unless you are my mother or my father. I will be knee deep in.
Are you also on the do not disturb thing?
No, but I will be. I will be.
You're not going to pick up the phone if I call you this weekend?
My third round pick, I really think it would be a slam dunk. And this is dream scenario, so I'm being a little more giving with players' availability. This guy could go anywhere from late round 2 to sometime in round 3. I'd love for them to get pass rusher Danny Dennis-Sutton out of Penn State. Kind of a unmolded clay. He's got. I love that I'm giving you both an opportunity to eat your bagels as well. Probably best.
It's a blueberry muffin and it's delightful.
He's got some 4.3 flexibility. Clear strengths are size, speed. You can't teach that. He would be a developmental pass rusher, but would fill in nicely. Got the body to play early in his NFL career. I think that would be a slam dunk in the third round. And then in my situation, you have added a guard, you have added a defensive tackle, and you have added an edge. We are improving this team through the trenches, and they will get better up front.
Keep going. I'm not done with my
Okay,
muffin.
fourth round. You're really looking at, after the top 100 picks, you are really looking at who fell because they were not a schematic fit for other teams. Who are the guys that are still on the board that fit what I want to do, but they don't fit what everybody else wants to do? I think this is where you could look at potential wide receivers that could fall through. Corner is a pretty deep class. I would love for them to jump back in. And a guy that started off pretty high and has kind of seen a fall from grace, Julian Neal. Cornerback out of Arkansas. He's got size, length, good enough speed to play on the outside, would immediately contribute in there, could probably be a special teams player for you early, but he brings SEC experience, which means much less now than it has. I would try to get a Julian Neal or a player like that in this crop, and that would round out my 4-round mock.
So we're all on team trade back.
Yeah. Sounds like it.
I think that would be best case scenario. They just have so many holes to fill.
So many.
Having more swings is never a bad thing.
Yeah.
And I really think, again, it would not. I think the way that we outlined it, though, like if it came to pass this way where so you trade out of 4, but you get an offensive lineman that can play for you right away, and you get a wide receiver without having to necessarily play him right away, right? Like you can.
Yeah, or without feeling like you're reaching, maybe.
Right. It's appropriate value for a guy like Omar Cooper or Vega Ione or Zion Young, or, I mean, maybe my situation was a little unrealistic because it does feel like Keontae Scott is going to go in the third round at the latest. The cornerback out of Miami, he's a really good player.
But if you wanted to knock him, the dude's 24, which I think I saw a stat that said 18% of the players in this draft are 24 or older.
That's crazy. 18% 24 or older.
It is a extremely old class, and I think that goes hand in hand.
I think that's going to keep happening too, by the way.
Oh yeah,
Sure.
I mean with the guys going back or like middling talent realizing, hey, I can go back to college and have security and still play, have a chance to put out better tape and make money. I'm going to go back and do that.
Yeah.
But Peter Schrager's comment about throw position value out the window. I think that goes hand in hand with this being an older class and not being able to bet on players' developmental runway going in. No longer are you drafting 20, 21, 22-year-olds and saying, oh, by the time they get done with their rookie contract, he'll be 25, he'll be 26. That's going into his prime. We'll be ready to pay him. Now, Akeem Mesidor, all these other guys that are older, top prospects, they're going to be 28, 29, almost 30 by the end of their rookie deal.
I think the main thing that would have me saying absolutely not, stay at 4, is if there was a game-changing receiver there in the mold of what we're going to see at the top of next year's draft, and the Jeremiah Smiths of the world and a Marvin Harrison Jr. type of prospect, a Cam Coleman. That, to me, is what would have me pausing and saying, don't pass up this opportunity to give Cam Ward a true number 1 threat going into year 2, but that opportunity isn't really there. And Carnell Tate's a good player, and I think Carnell Tate is going to be a good NFL player because it's just what happens with receivers coming out of that system. There's a proven track record of that, but we're talking about the number 4 overall pick. That's the one thing that would give me pause, and I don't think that receiver exists in this draft. Or maybe he does, and there's a Jackson Smith and Jigba sitting there.
And we don't know it yet, right? Yeah, for
that's
sure.
the thing. It's so hard because we talk about these things in absolutes, and it's so easy to take these conversations we're having now and replay them a year from now and say, idiots. Jackson Smith and Jigba was in the back half of the first round and is the offensive player of the year and is the highest paid wide receiver in NFL history. So who knows how these things will pan out. But with the information we have now, there does not appear to be that true game-changing one for Cam Ward, which would have me saying, no, you got to take him at number 4 overall.
Christopher on YouTube says, team trade back. Good thing none of you are Titans fans. Okay. Said, did you just renounce your Titans fandom, Lucas, because you're team trade back before you stick whatever you're about to stick in your mouth, into your mouth?
Yeah, I am team trade back. Like Robert said, man, there are so many things to address on this roster. Mm-hmm. So many. So can you achieve a balance? Like can you avoid going all the way to one side? Like, yes, drafting the best possible players, which comes with taking somebody in the top 5 versus spreading it out and trying to balance putting Cam Ward in the best situation while addressing depth in all areas and getting as close to competitiveness as possible.
If you guys, I'll tease a little bit for tomorrow. Is this a real player in the draft? Cash Jones. Is Cash Jones a real player?
No.
He is. He's a running back for Georgia. He's the 420th player, shout out 420, on PFF's big board. I love going through. I just cycled.
420th player. There are 257 draft picks.
I went all the way to the back. They have 500 ranked players.
God.
I also like coming over players' names that we knew from a certain stint and see where they ended up. You guys remember Tyler Van Dyke?
Yes.
Starting for Miami for a couple games.
Where did he went to Wisconsin, right?
Oh, yeah. I think Wisconsin, and it did.
Because he got hurt.
He is coming out of SMU.
Oh, wow.
He is 25 years old. Guy, when you get to the ass end of this, the ages are ridiculous.
Van Dyke was the quarterback at Miami before Cam Ward got there, right?
Correct.
Yep.
Like 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
I remember their quarterback got hurt, and then Miami had to play NC State, and everyone was like, oh, Tyler Van Dyke, they're going to start this guy. And he took them to the woodshed. He beat the hell out of them. Oh, my God, this guy's 76 years old. That's not even a draftable prospect.
It's that janitor from South Carolina that was playing quarterback for a hot second. Last call for phone calls. If you got them, Robert reads more names that may not be real next. Welcome back to the show, fueled by Hattie B's Hot Chicken, and it seems produced by Blaine Bishop. What's going on back there? Oh, look at him. Look at him. Blaine's hitting buttons.
Hitman's wheeling and dealing back
He
there.
threw Robert's ass out of the studio. No, Robert's back there showing him which buttons he can and can't hit. What else is back there? Go ahead. Oh, hey, that's the Blaine Bishop sound.
The man himself.
Yes, Blaine will always be the sound of our reckless speculation.
Is that Arch Manning? Who's that in there?
Yeah.
It looks like Arch Manning.
Yeah.
You have a guess?
No, he's in here shadowing us today. We've told him how to not do radio.
Oh, he looks like a baby Arch.
Yeah,
This is our guy Mikey goes to Vanderbilt.
Can you look any more baby than Arch does right now? Yes.
Dang, yeah, Blaine will take my job.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Turns out he's good at this.
That was the best produced segment of the show so far. Oh, goodness.
You want some more fake names, or do you want to talk about something real?
I don't have anything else to talk about, so we can do whatever you guys want to do here. I've literally run out of things, and I did no polls today.
Now, Vrabel did field questions. Would you like to hear some of his responses to the follow-ups?
Oh, please.
Do we have it's video or just quotes?
I have it transcribed.
Did he took questions on this situation?
Yes.
Okay.
He was asked the first question, and this is courtesy of masslive.com.
Okay.
He was asked about Diana Rousini resigning from her position at The Athletic. He said, quote, "I respect and I appreciate every single question, but I'm not going to be able to comment on anything as it relates to that." He basically no commented it. You know, I appreciate your job, what you guys have to do, but I just want to talk about the football team. Okay. Did Patriots players have questions about the situation? He said, "I've had conversations and questions. I've addressed that and talked to them. Tell them all the time we have to speak for ourselves, and what they have to say on it is what they'll have to say. We've talked. And again, there's a lot of excitement in this new building. These guys are off to a good start. It's been a good 2 days." Was the conversation with your players difficult for you? No, not difficult. I have to lead. I have to make sure that I address things, communicate, and I do that with everything that we do. We've got a great group of guys. He goes on and on. We're excited to help them, preparing for the journey is what we talked about, keeping it on the football team. Was there any fear of this being a distraction? Well, again, we talk about distractions. We have to be able to handle it, everything that comes our way. So those are things we always talk about is how we handle those things. Then he was asked.
This word salad.
Yeah. Then he's asked about calling.
I can literally hear again.
On calling the initial implications, quote, laughable in his statement to the New York Post, and if that is still the way he feels. He said, quote, "I appreciate the question. Is any question ever going to be answered when you start it with, I appreciate the question?"
Especially not from that one.
He goes on, "I'm going to focus on our football team. I think I've addressed what I felt like was important. So focusing on our football team and the importance of teaching these guys, bringing a new team together, 13 new players." That is how he answered whether or not he still feels the situation is laughable.
Mike, can you name some of the other parties that were involved in this weekend getaway?
They're going to push him at some point because he's being very diplomatic, and he has no choice. I mean, he's kind of backed into a situation of his own making here.
Well, he's doing this so he doesn't have to do it on draft night when he's going to speak again.
I am surprised. I am surprised that this is how this situation went down. I'm surprised that they waited and did an independent press conference. I'm surprised that they didn't just try and bull their way through it on draft night rather and say, make some kind of statement off the top and say no comment on any questions other than football. That would have been, I don't know what the best way to do this was, because I don't think that they should have trotted poor Elliot Wolf out there before anybody else had to speak.
Well, Vrabel started in his opening statement by thanking Patriots media and thanking them for their patience, knowing that they wanted to talk about this sooner, but it was important. He says, quote, "It was important to me to have a conversation with the players, which I did yesterday very candidly as we began our offseason program." So he's saying, I wanted to talk to you, but not until after I talked to my players, which I could not do until they were in the building.
Which is fair. I think that's probably the most acceptable part of this. That tracks.
You guys want to hear some pettiness around the NFL draft?
Sure.
This came out an hour ago from Alex Kozora This is from SteelersDepot.com. Art Rooney got the NFL to move the Steelers fans ahead of where Ravens fans were supposed to sit.
At the draft?
The quote from the Steelers owner. On the normal seating chart, I noticed that Ravens fans were sitting in front of the Steelers fans in one section of the draft theater. So I asked them to make that change, and they agreed.
I kind of love that.
I do too. It's like, yeah, I don't want Ravens fans in front of our fans.
I want the camera to have to go through the Steelers fans to get to the Ravens fans.
No, that's good. I would like our fans to be behind them to whisper in their ears, "You're going to blow it. Have fun with Mike McCarthy. Aaron Rodgers doesn't love you."
We got to talk about that situation.
We didn't talk about it.
We'll do it tomorrow.
We have a couple of minutes here.
We'll do it tomorrow. Just another offseason held hostage by Aaron Rodgers. Just crazy, man.
But you knew this is exactly the way that it was going to go down. And the fact, is their quarterback situation worse than Arizona's if they don't have Aaron Rodgers?
Oof.
It's Will Howard. Mason Rudolph isn't under contract. I don't think he's back there. Titans legend.
Compared to Jacoby Brissett and Gardner Minshew.
Minshew mania.
Oh, that's what they should do. They should trade for Jacoby. I think that'd be nice. Mason Rudolph is still there.
Either one
under contract?
Yes, he is listed on there. Our lads.
Either one of those teams could very well end up with Ty Simpson after the draft.
Oh, but not at 3.
Yeah, it could happen at 3.
No, I don't think it could.
No, but in all seriousness, back into the first round, no team has been talked about more when it comes to, it could trade back into the first for Ty Simpson than Arizona. And him going at 21 to Pittsburgh doesn't feel impossible.
Only one pick after the original slot where they took Kenny Pickett.
That's right.
What if let's just say they take Ty Simpson at 21 and then Rodgers decides, nope, I'm in.
That would probably be the best thing that could happen to Ty Simpson.
Yeah.
For him not to be thrust into starting year one and getting a chance to just sit behind Rodgers, learn the playbook, and not have to go out there and throw some interceptions against AFC North defenses.
That would be interesting to see how McCarthy would handle that, right? Because I don't know that Mike McCarthy would put him out there to start.
Another dude that I think could benefit from something like that, what if the Vikings just eat their losses on J.J. McCarthy?
And it sounded like they were prepared to.
Well, they send him to play for his estranged father in Pittsburgh.
Or is it like what Tehran says to Dawn? What's up, cousin? Kills me.
It'd be nice for JJ, though. Get to sit, go behind another quarterback. What number does Rodgers wear?
8.
8-9. Right there.
Okay, very good.
Polls?
No, we did no polls.
I love polls.
No.
This is my favorite part of the whole show. Let's go.
There's no polls.
There's no what? Sorry, that it's so loud. Sorry, hold on. It's almost over.
Put right back in the box.
Let's go. Love the polls. The polls brought to you by Two Rivers Ford, the most trusted Ford dealer in the South.
The South's most trusted Ford dealer.
The South trusts them is the main thing you need to know. Tell us about the polls, Lucas. Heck yeah. Love the polls.
There are none.
What?
End it. Oh, you still want me to talk?
Tell them goodbye. We'll see you tomorrow. Love you. Bye.
We'll see you goodbye. Tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Prime time. Not for us tonight. We're off tonight. Enjoy Blaine and Zach. They're coming up next.